One way of conceptualizing yourself is that you're one speck of dust among 7 billion. And when you conceptualize yourself that way, you might think, well, what difference does it make what I say or do? And that's actually quite convenient for you, because if it doesn't matter what you say or do, then you don't have any responsibility and you can do whatever you want. The price you pay for that is a bit of nihilism, but if you don't have to shoulder any responsibility, that's a small price to pay. Another, that's the underground motivation for nihilism. But the other way of looking at it, and this is actually the accurate way of looking at it, is that you're in a network. You're a node in a network. And so you can do a little bit of arithmetic very rapidly and just figure out how powerful you are. You know 1,000 people. You're going to know more than that over the course of your life, but let's say 1,000 for the sake of argument for now. They know 1,000 people. That means that you're one person away from 1,000,000 people and two persons away from 1,000,000,000 people. And you're the center of that network. And now the way networks work is that information propagates in a networked manner. So don't underestimate the power of your speech. Now, Western culture is phallogocentric. Let's say it. Okay, so we'll say, yeah, that's just fine. That's exactly what it is. It's predicated on the idea of the logos, that the logos is the sacred element of Western culture. And what does that mean? It means that your capacity for speech is divine. It's the thing that generates order from chaos and then sometimes turns pathological order into chaos when it has to. Don't underestimate the power of truth. There's nothing more powerful. Now, in order to speak what you might regard as the truth, you have to let go of the outcome. You have to think, all right, I'm going to say what I think, stupid as I am, biased as I am, ignorant as I am. I'm going to state what I think as clearly as I can, and I'm going to live with the consequences no matter what they are. Now, the reason you think that, that's an element of faith. The idea is that nothing brings a better world into being than the stated truth. Now, you might have to pay a price for that, but that's fine. You're going to pay a price for every bloody thing you do and everything you don't do. You don't get to choose to not pay a price. You get to choose which poison you're going to take. That's it. So if you're going to stand up for something, stand up for your truth. It'll shape you, because people will respond and object and tell you why you're a fool and a biased moron and why you're ignorant. And then if you listen to them, you'll be just that much less like that the next time you say something. And if you do that for 5 years, you'll be so damn tough and articulate and able to communicate and withstand pressure that you won't even recognize yourself. And then you'll be a force to contend with. And you don't get to wait until, because I get letters like Gad Saad gets all the time too, from faculty members in particular, and they say, well, when I get tenure, it's like, then they think, well, when I'm an associate professor, and then they think, well, when I'm a full professor. It's like, if you're a professor already, you're like the most protected person in the history of the planet, and you need, well, okay, but one of the things that indicates is that it's almost impossible to provide people with enough protection so that they feel safe to speak. Okay, so we'll address that directly. It is not safe to speak, and it never will be. But the thing you got to keep in mind is that it's even less safe not to speak, right? It's a balance of risks. It's like you want to pay the price for being who you are and stating your mode of being in the world, or do you want to pay the price for being a bloody serf, one that's enslaved him or herself? Well, that's a major price, man. That thing unfolds over decades, and you'll just be a miserable worm at the end of about 20 years of that, right? No self-respect, no power, no ability to voice your opinions, nothing left but resentment because everyone's against you, because of course you've never stood up for yourself. It's like, say what you think carefully, pay attention to your words. The price is, it's a price you want to pay if you are willing to believe that truth is the cornerstone of society. And in the most real sense, if you're willing to take that leap, then tell the truth and see what happens. And nothing better could possibly happen to you. There'll be ups and downs, and there'll be pushback, and there'll be controversy and all of that, but it doesn't matter. The truth is what makes the world, the truth is what redeems the world from hell, and that's the truth. And we saw plenty of hell over the last 100 years, and we haven't learned a bloody thing from it. It's like, wake up, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. That's a start. And you got to understand that's a risk. But I have one more brief thing to say about that. So, I said what I had to say back in September, and I'm sure that I could have done it better, and many people have told me how I could have done it better, although it didn't mean they would actually do it. But and my job was at risk, serious risk, for about 2 months, and it destabilized my family. Being very brave about this, so like thumbs up to them, man. They've just stood by me. But here's the optimistic news: is the university has left me alone completely. I shook hands with the dean 2 weeks ago. We're on friendly terms. They don't want this to go any farther than it has already. The students were tremendously welcoming when I came back to teach in January. I haven't had a single negative incident at the university. And I've received thousands of letters from people all over the world, all of which have been in support. I've received 2 negative letters. That's it. 2. So the people have an inchoate longing to have the sort of thing that we're talking about articulated. And so don't be thinking you're alone. It's just that people can't talk, they're afraid to talk, or they don't know what to say. And those are real problems. So if you're reasonably articulate, like, start talking and sharpen yourself up. I mean, the enemy is a cloud. They're a cloud of gnats. They're only courageous in groups. They're only courageous in mobs. If you stand your ground and don't apologize and articulate things properly, they'll disperse around you like they're not even there. So most of it's illusion. So don't be afraid, but be afraid of the right thing. And the right thing you should be afraid of is not saying what you say, because that's the same as not being. And here you are, suffering away. You might as well be at the same time. At least then there's something to you.
I wanted to play that in the beginning. I want everyone to, I'm giving you a welcome here. You are watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese. And you know what? Because there's a lot of people who are like, man, you started off deep. We're going to go in deep today. So I just want to give you guys who are here right now a round of applause. And whoever watches this a little bit later, here you go. I want to thank everyone for coming in. You're watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese. This is the official news channel of the gig economy. Outside of that, we do a whole lot of other great stuff. We talk about a whole lot of other things. Today, we have a great show. We're going to show a disrespectful Amazon driver who tried to just do this thing, and I hate that it goes on to the TikTok and they try to do these things. We'll talk about that. As you see in the title, we are going to talk about the Para app, the app, and if it's going to be the downfall of
Hello.
Catering app. What's up, TFT?
Another day headed home, but I had to jump in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We're also going to talk about so we got the disrespectful Amazon driver, the trying to move Para over to the catering food side, and how they took the video down that UDM was on that was live, and we'll talk about why they took that video down. We're gonna get into a few other things, and then there's a video that I'm going to show after everything. There was a police shooting of a sovereign citizen who did not even pull anything. It was not a black person. It was a white person that was shot, and he didn't even have a weapon, or he didn't even get a chance to do anything, and they opened out like it was Bonnie and Clyde going into this man's vehicle. We're going to watch that at the end. So parental advisory is there. You know, I just want people to know that when you're trying to prove something to the law and things like that, there's always a cost that can happen. So we're going to show, you know, what can happen, you know, if you're trying to go and push things for a camera. That's the bottom line on what I'm trying to get through today. And I'll get through
Okay, I got to make a comment there. I gotta make a comment there. I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother.
Oh no, go ahead, TFT.
If recording things or not, that's fine and dandy. But if you are ever pulled over by the police, stay respectful with them and comply with them. If you have issue with what they're pulling you over for, go to court. Fight it. Don't fight them. Fight what they pulled you over for.
Oh yes, and I just got pulled over the other day with my daughter in the back seat in the car, and everything went as smooth as daisies. You know why, TFT? I'm not out there trying to do all this weird stuff. No, they got a job to do. You know, let's go ahead and bam, bam, bam. You know, you do it, and it was less than that time. Bam, we were driving away. Didn't have to do no extras. No,
just like when I got pulled over because the cop thought my plate looked like it was tampered with when it's just 20 years old and on a truck. So it's faded and worn. I complied with the guy. I kept my hands in plain view, did what he asked. And we were in and out of the conversation. He'd gone, didn't even write me a ticket, fix it or nothing, in a matter of just a minute. Now, granted, if he would have actually bothered to look at the information that came back when he ran my plate, or tag, whatever you want to call it, he would have known that there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. I have no warrants, no nothing. There's nothing wrong with this truck. He just wanted to pull me over to get his quota. Yeah, because they have a quota. I don't care what anybody says. They have a quota.
Come on now, TFT.
They have to get X amount.
They have a quota.
I know, but you talk to the police about, oh no, we don't have their quota. That's bullcrap. Yes, you do. Each and every officer has to get X amount of traffic stops, X amount of tickets, X amount of everything.
To prove their productivity to the citizen. That's what they. Come on now. Come on now.
It's like everyone knows it. It's the world's worst kept secret because everybody freaking knows it, but everybody denies it. But like I said, as long as you stay respectful with them, and they will stay respectful with you. You comply with their directions, they will let you go. 9 times out of 10, unless you've seriously done something stupidly wrong. They'll either get your ticket and be on your merry way, or they'll let you go with a warning if you happen to be lucky enough, I guess you could say. But as long as you're not doing anything wrong, if the cop is being a dick, then you know what? Comply with him. Do what he asks of you. Take the stupid ticket and fight it in court.
Now check this out, TFT. Because we talking about this now, I'm not gonna wait till the end. What is going to happen right now? This is the
only reason I jumped in. The only reason I jumped in with that comment is because you were talking about how people might tend to get a little rougher because they're got it on camera and they think they're right and they want to prove a point. And it was like, yeah, you may be right. You may have a point to prove, but straight to that officer is not the place to do it.
Yeah, but see, since we're talking about that now, TFT, I ain't even gonna wait. So I'm gonna show the video right now on what can happen when you and then them not being on the same page. I'm gonna show the video right now. This is a public disclaimer right here. This is a warning right here. What you are about to see could be tragic to anyone's eyes. I just want you guys to know that right now, but this is for educational purposes because we do not want this to happen another time. After this live is shot, the very next day, this will be deleted from this live. So the only time to go ahead and see it right now or go to where it is, you'll have to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to put the link in the video to promote this, but this is for educational purposes. There is something that we have to do with each other as far as us, the community, the police, and we have to come to a common ground. And
yes, we do.
Can't have people trying to push buttons for no reason. That equals what we are about to see.
That goes for both sides of the fence when it comes to that. That's not just for John Q. Public. That's also for Johnny Law.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
They are to protect and serve. Now, yes, they have a job to do. And I applaud every officer for doing their job. I do. That's a job that I wouldn't want to do. But it takes a special breed. Not every cop is a good cop. That I know. That everybody knows. But don't bash every officer because one did something stupid.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I'll shut up there. We can play and clip this part out of when it goes up for everything else.
Yeah.
I'll mute myself now so I can play.
People, I want you to know we are gonna watch this in its entirety. We're gonna watch this right now, and I just want people to know that we're looking at police and citizen or just person, but just think that anyone you interact with, there could be other things that can happen. So right now we're going to watch this in its entirety. Once again, this is for educational purposes so that we can help protect the next person, woman, man, citizen, alien, it don't matter who it is. This is going to have a graphic nature, okay? Very disturbing. This is a warning, okay? This is an official warning, okay? Let's go ahead and watch it. You're watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese, the official news channel of the gig economy, and just the official Hot Facts all around the world. Let's go.
How's it going? Good, how are you? Good, I'm Officer Farmington Police. The reason for the stop today is there's no registration on your vehicle.
I don't need registration and I don't answer questions.
Alrighty. Davis, Fox 21. Can you have a couple more heading my way? Is this back window roll down?
Why do you need to know that?
I just want to make sure that you're the only one in the vehicle. So here's the deal, man. I'm stopping you because there's no registration on your vehicle, and I'm requesting your identification. Okay? You are detained at this time, and you are not free to leave. Are you going to provide me your identification?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as a no, that you're not going to provide me your identification. Is that the route we're going? Or would you like to provide your identification to me, and we can have a conversation, we can discuss the laws that you're breaking, and then we can go from there.
If you want my identification, I'll be under duress and you accept surety and trusteeship over it. Meaning you will be responsible for any debts that you're trying to incur here.
Okay, so I'm not trying to incur any debts or anything. I'm trying to investigate why your vehicle doesn't have any registration.
1692, you are trying to incur a debt and legal action for something
Okay.
that's not allowed.
Okay.
And under
So,
Title 18, Section
here's-
245, traveling is a federally protected activity. In which
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And what I'm telling you is that you do not have an option to identify yourself.
I do.
You are lawfully required to identify yourself. So you can provide your identification to me, and we can have a conversation about the laws that you've broken, or you can fail to identify to me, and we can go that route too. I'm perfectly okay with either way you want to go, but the direction that this encounter goes is 100% in your hands.
Sir, Utah Code, United States Code,
Okay?
is a corporate policy
Okay?
in which you have to be contracted and to be required to follow it. Unless you
Okay.
can provide me a contract with my wet ink signature on it saying that I'm required to follow it,
Okay?
then there is
So do you
nothing
wanna-
I'm obligated
Do you want to
do.
identify yourself to me, or do you want to go a different route? Wonderful. Do you have a driver license as well?
I am not giving you jurisdiction.
Okay?
Do not
Hand-
stop. Do not detain. You are not allowed to stop me.
Let me
I
see
am
that.
on your list
I
saying that
didn't
you're
see
not
what you
allowed
just
to
tried to show me. Can you show that to me again? What's this?
This is a passport. It says, do not stay, do not detain. And if you go on the first page,
Okay.
it says, the United States hereby requests all who may concern
Okay.
to permit the citizens
Here's what I'm telling you.
United States named herein
Here's what I'm telling you.
without delay or hindrance.
Okay,
You are
will you hand
required-
that to me so I can read it? You want me to look at it through this tiny crack in your
I am
window?
not handing it to you.
You're not going to hand it to me?
If I hand this to you, you accept trusteeship and surety, and you are obligated.
Sure, I'll
to
accept
debt.
I'll accept trustingship if you just hand me the document so I can identify who you are because you're required by state law.
I am not
Thank you
required
so
to
much,
identify
Mr.
myself.
Chase Allen.
That is not me. That is a piece of plastic paper.
So you have a fraudulent passport?
No. that is a
Wonderful.
piece of paper.
That's what I'm hearing. Okay, step out of the car for me.
No.
Sir, step out of the vehicle
No.
right now.
I am not required to.
Step
If
out
you
of this
try and
vehicle
force
right
me,
now.
Then we're going to have an issue where you're
Step
gonna have
out of the
to
car
come
right now.
Step out of the car. We're gonna break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun, 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 gun.
Now, the rest of that video, you can go ahead and find out where it is. The rest of that video there, the police officer said, "Did you see him pull a weapon?" And they said, "I don't know." They all just went gung-ho on the machinery there with the bullets. But the gentleman in the vehicle, even though he was given all of the sovereign citizenship and everything else there, this is where you got to read people. He was giving it to the wrong officer. This officer don't care. He's just as dumb as you.
Okay. I got a bone to pick with this video on both sides of it.
Go ahead, TMT. That's why I want to play this video, because this is crazy all over the place, right? Ain't it all over the field?
Oh yes, both sides were very much so in the wrong, in my opinion.
Go ahead, floor is yours.
First off, doesn't matter about the sovereign citizen stuff. Yes, we do have sovereign rights as decreed to us by the Declaration of Independence and of our Bills of Rights. However, we are also under those same articles subject to every local law for everywhere we go. That means city, state, all of it, county, all of it. No matter where we go, we are subject to abide by those laws that are in effect in those areas. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, if I left to go to Las Vegas right now, when I get there, every city I pass, I'm subject to all of their laws while I am in their cities and in their jurisdictions.
Right.
Until I get to my final destination, and my final destination, then I'm under their laws and rules and regulations and jurisdictions.
Mm-hmm.
That means I must adhere to every law, rules, whatever it may be, mandate for the city, all of it. Must be upheld. If not, guess what? You're either going to be subject to fines, tickets, possible arrest, or all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see on all those signs, like the no littering signs, is that subject to a $1,000 fine or $1,500 fine or 5 years in prison. It's because and it doesn't say or. It says and or, because you could be subjugated to both.
Yeah.
At the same time. Well, now it doesn't matter that I declare sovereign citizenship. I don't need a driver's license to drive my vehicle, because I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Yeah, that's a load of crap.
That's going to push the officer to already have an attitude off the jump, because he's like, I don't want to be dealing with this right now, and he's automatically just going to be on the other side of the bed. He already going to be on the other side of the bed, so now you just got button heads right now. You just got button heads. That's
on the driver's fault, and if he did have an actual firearm in that vehicle, he should have declared that immediately when being pulled over by the officers.
They let him.
That's just standard safety, because trust me, yes, you're going to get pulled out of that car the minute you say you have a firearm. However, and you will be detained and cuffed and they will secure your weapon. However, they're doing that not only for their safety, but for yours. Because if you have a firearm in your car,
right there, we saw what the safety issue would be. Hey, brother, you pull something, we all got something for you. Every single cop, it sounds like, you know, when you light that pack of firecrackers,
yeah.
you know, like it sounded like that, but that was all the different officers shooting, like right there. That's what it sounded like to me.
No officer is going to stand idly by and not pull their weapon when one of their brothers has said, "Gun." Now, they may not be the first one to jump and fire, but it's the hive mind mentality kind of thing. If one fires, everybody else is going to fire.
Everybody fired. That's the look. When you're dealing with fitness and when you're building muscle, it's all in one area. When you have your muscle fibers, right? If you like, when I move my finger just like this, any fiber connected is gonna fire to actually move. If one fiber moves, the whole bundle moves. So it's the exact same thing. One fire.
That's what I said. It's the hive mind. It's the hive mind mentality. Yeah, I mean, have you ever gone up to a beehive? If you attack a beehive or attack one bee near a beehive, it will fight. And guess what? Within seconds, you're going to have the entire hive swarming you.
The whole hive. And don't let it be a wasp. Wasps have better eyesight.
It's not even that. There's some wasps that have a photographic memory.
Yeah.
And if you mess with them, they will hunt you down.
See?
Because they can live long time without food or water. And they will sit and wait if they know where you live. Until you come out again.
But that's the same thing with the cops. The cops are like, hey, we can just go do our job. We go sit and wait for that dumbass person to go and do something dumb so we can all fire. And right then and there.
When it comes to police officers, like I said, not all of them are bad. Trust me, not all of them are.
No.
Yeah. I know many officers that I will stand up for every day, all day. Because they've always come through and been there for me when I needed them, whether I even called them or not. Right. I've had many officers say, "Hey, how you doing today?" Back when I was doing security. Any troubles? I know, everything good. I'll call you if I need you. And there's been times where they showed up just at the right moment. I was just getting ready to call them. They rolled up, "Hey, all good? Like, you seem a little flustered today." "Oh, yeah, I got an unruly guest who doesn't want to leave." "Oh, we'll take care of it."
Yeah, but see, these are police officers who still believe in being in the beat. A lot of people don't know what the beat means. Being in the beat means that you're in your community, you're communicating, you know who everyone is. So, like, the realness of the real is going, the communication is there. If something is really bad in the area, be like, man, it was like 5 cars stolen over here, and I don't want to leave my car there, and you guys don't have a patrol unit there. Can you guys get one over there? What, they stealing cars? Like, yeah, bam, they go get some extra units over there because you are in the beat just like them, and it goes like that. And a lot of people got to understand.
When it comes to a lot of these officers and these bad incidences that are reported all over the news and social media and everything, most of those officers are the ones who are still within their first 2-3 years of service.
But what about all these cops shooting? It was like 8 cops that fired.
Yeah, that was a little fucking overboard. That was way overboard.
That's why
they should have.
Talking TFT, they were talking, and like, man, did you heard him say, well, did you see him have this and this and that? And then it was like they all were just triggered by that one fire. They all just went good.
A lot of those officers were a little antsy and trigger happy. They shouldn't have done that. None of them should have. If there was an actual gun there, they should have just backed off, had their firearms drawn. Sure. Fired like that? No. Yeah, because you got to give the guy the opportunity to get the fuck out the goddamn car, or have your buddies back your ass up while you go clear the car, which
Yeah,
means yanking his ass out, slamming him to the ground, and cuffing him up.
yeah.
Yeah,
They
and
told
if
him
there
that
is
they
an
were gonna
actual
bust his
firearm,
window. They told him they were gonna bust his window if he didn't get out, and he
yeah,
was like, "No." And when they opened the door, right when the dude just reached, like, went in there, he was like, "Gun, gun, gun!" And then,
mm-hmm.
bam, 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 bam.
You
That
know,
was
they should
crazy.
not have
Like,
opened up like that. There was no reason to open up like that. Just because somebody says gun doesn't mean you start pulling the trigger.
man, the craziest thing about this is, and it's so sad for me to say, but I have to say it because I'm glad that it wasn't a black person in the car, because there would be so many political things going on right now on the news. I'm glad it was somebody else so that you can really see that these officers need training, and it
From
doesn't
what I
matter the
saw in that
color,
video,
and it doesn't matter the color of the person. The
mm,
officers need the training. Now, if that's why, like, there was, I took that out of I took that as of the learning experience
yeah,
there from that clip. That's what I took from that. And I don't like anyone getting shot and killed, but in the time right now, if anyone of color gets killed, the political ramifications of everything goes like
that's
way
something I
above.
have a bone to pick with myself. Yeah, I don't care what the hell color you are. Black, white, pink, yellow, polka dot, it don't make no goddamn difference. Somebody
Right.
takes a life, that's your ass should be on fucking grid, on strung the hell up, in my opinion. Yeah, or at least have the law levered against you in such a way that you will be suffering the ramifications from it. Because it
Right.
doesn't matter if you're white, it doesn't matter if you're black, it doesn't matter if you're brown, yellow, pink, whatever. Every life is precious. I don't care about. So you're like a brother to me from another mother. You're a black man. I'm a white man. My landlady is Southern Creole black. She's like a mother to me. I've known that woman for 30 years. I'll go to the end of this world for her. Her son is like a brother to me. Yeah, I will literally go beat the living tar out of anybody that messes with them and not bat an eye about it. All they gotta do is say, "Hey man, this guy's fucking with me. All right, where you at?" Yeah, me and my little baseball bat here in the back, gonna go have some fun.
Yeah, but see, that's the significance of it, on that it was crazy that normally when you see all these police officers shoot their weapons, it's normally on someone black or someone that might
Yeah, that's
be,
because the media is a
yeah,
fucking
the media is
crock.
about,
They only want to show shit that's gonna either increase racial tension or
right,
negative crap. Period. Doesn't
right,
matter what, they don't care about color. All they care about is ratings.
exactly. That's why this thing right here was, all the officers that approached the vehicle were white officers,
Mm-hmm.
and they unloaded on a white dude. So this, I thought that, man, like, this sucks. Like, the family of the dude,
Now, what sucks
they're
is it
going
looks like all
through it.
those officers are in their early to mid to late 20s. So that means they're young. And they're all
Yes,
barely probably been on the force a couple of years.
yes. Now,
None of them have been trained properly, in my opinion, because there was no reason for that.
now
Yes,
check
you may
this
get
out.
irritated or annoyed because somebody's pulling the sovereign citizen stuff, but that doesn't mean you go off and friggin' unload a whole entire magazine on them.
See, and that's my point here. Now, we have people that when they get back from the military, right? And their job, they were the military police, right? Then they get back here and they were over there doing the thing. You just tell them to just go do some regular stuff that they don't even know. Some of these dudes will uphold the law and everything better than these police officers that you just given 5-6 months of police academy training. They get out there and do their thing, but we got some of these people that are coming back from, they're actually there to police the military guys there. They get back here from doing their job and they can't get a job. And these dudes are like, man, that would never
Oh,
happen.
no. See, that's just it. Cops can definitely, military police officers, any military personnel can get a job regardless, just because they're former military. In very many aspects.
Yeah.
One of which is security.
What's up, Kevin Anderson? I see you there. What's up, man?
Yeah. How you doing, Mr. Anderson?
Because look, I feel, you know what? I feel the streets would be, the interactions with the police would be a whole lot better, because you see what they have to do when they go into other countries. They have to give the kids candy and talk and gain trust and do all these things. That's something that
they're doing what our police officers used to do back when we were kids.
Exactly. So I feel that
the cops,
if we have those people, when they're done, they get a job as a police officer, chances are they're going to know how to communicate with the people from house to house, and then bam.
For the most part, I would definitely agree. It just kind of depends on the person still. Even still, it depends on the person. Yeah, but I would agree that they would probably have a hell of a lot better reaction to the general populace than some of these guys that we got now.
All those officers, TFT. What do you think should happen to all those officers who?
No, what do I think is going to happen, or what do I know will happen?
Well, it was overkill. So I want to know from what we saw, it was an opening the door and then a bam. What do you think is going to happen, and what should happen to all the officers? Because that was overkill.
Well, see, what is going to happen is they're all going to have their weapons taken. They're going to be put in lockup for testing and evidence. Well, that's will happen, mind you, not what I think or what should. That will happen. What second thing is going to happen is every single one of them who unloaded even a single round is going to be put on administrative leave, which means they're still getting paid until the evaluation of an investigation of what actually happened. And the reaccounting of all officers' body cam footage, car footage, everything they can get their hands on. That was two. Number three, honestly, probably nothing's going to happen, but they're all going to get a slap on the wrist. That's what I think there is. They're all going to get a slap on the wrist, and they'll be back on the fucking, out on the streets. Back to work after, say, a month or 2, 3 months, something like that.
Ooh, you a cold brother, because a lot of people would have tried to went the political route. Well, I'm going to say this. No, you went with the history and the real of everything. Go on to your next point.
That's because I'm not no reason to bullshit. I don't blow smoke up people's asses. I tell you exactly what I see and how I see it. From my personal experiences over the years and what I've seen and heard over the years, that's what's going to happen. Now, what should happen is every single one of those officers should lose their job.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Every one of those officers should have to, one, pay for everything that's happened and some pain and suffering, funeral expenses, all of that to cover that guy's expenses for his family.
Do they lose their pension?
I don't know. That's a bit harsh in my opinion, because they may have been good officers until that point. Don't know. That right there is something that I would have to actually dive into each one of their personal histories on. You know, because I'm not going to ruin a man's life and career for him and his family if this was the only incident they had.
But see, that's why I brought that up, because you said that, you know, they're gonna take all the weapons for, you know,
that's for evidence, because they're all police issued. Right? They're police issued weapons, so they're just going to take them and give them a new one. If they put them back on the force right now, they'll just give them a new gun.
But they're going to check the ballistics and everything, right? And if they're
going to make sure what bullets are actually in the suspect, their victim, whichever the word you want to use.
Which will go into my next thing. When they do that and they take those weapons and they do the ballistics, we all know that some people, just like you said, administrative leave, desk duty, they're not going to
No,
leave
no,
you
no.
in there.
They're going to be on administrative leave, which means they're going to get to sit at home and basically jerk off and still get a paycheck.
Yeah, but check this out. They'll still be able to come back in time, or they might go
Yeah,
to another force. Now you're going to
they'll
get
probably get
some
transferred to
people.
different departments, but yeah.
You'll get some people that might think, man, it's too hot. I'm going to resign and I'm going to go into corrections. They're going to go into that
Possibly.
route. And
Or
then
they'll
you're
go
going
into
to get this
security,
route.
whatever.
You're going to have at least two bad cops that they're going to catch, and two of those cops are going to go to jail. And all the rest of them are going to do what you just said. I think there's two of them that they're going to find some bad stuff on, and two of them are going to jail. I don't know for how long. I think two of them are going to jail.
Personally, from past shit I've heard and seen, if any of them do go to jail, it's probably only going to be one, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
That one is probably going to get locked up for probably 2 to 5 years. The other one, another one might go to jail. If he does, he's not going to actually be physically locked up. He's going to get probation or parole, whatever, instantly, and basically be on like whole house arrest or something for 6 months to a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. That's it. And if they're brought back, those two won't be brought back into any department, period. So they'll be stuck doing security or something. And they'll have troubles doing that work too because of the type of people they are.
Now, let me ask you this, because he was trying to claim that he was a sovereign citizen, and a lot of you guys out there, you may hear sovereign citizenship. You may hear different people going out there doing their things. I'm not going to get in full detail with it because I actually operate with certain things.
I'm not going to go into full detail with it, but I will say this. Yes.
About sovereign citizenship, go ahead, watch your own YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and do your thing. The whole thing is with the question that I have for TFT is because he was claiming to be a sovereign citizen and claiming the rights of man and the person that he's operating as. When it comes down to a lawyer and a lawsuit, how much money do you think a family of his is going to get if he was claiming to be a sovereign citizen? And how much do you, because if this was a regular person, they would have already be talking about, the best lawyer would be on the news right now, up there on the podium.
Look, I'm going to say this. Because he was claiming to be a sovereign citizen, most attorneys won't touch it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Sovereign citizenship, in my personal opinion, has nothing to do with hot facts or anything else. Just my old personal opinion. This lowly country boy from Fresno, California. Is sovereign citizenship? Yes, we do have certain rights that we should all have, regardless of law or anything, because we are people. However, those rights and laws of sovereign citizenship only apply if they do not contradict laws of the city and state we're in.
Yeah.
Because as a person, you are to adhere to all laws of every place you go. I can't go to Japan and live by the laws and rules here in California.
And people, that's why they say whenever a policeman talks to you or whatever, they always ask you what's on your person. They say that to you, what's on your person, because they know that people will try to pull the sovereign citizenship thing. And it only really works if you are driving and you really know how to do it. And you've actually went through the state and fought the state and they gave you paperwork to say. It takes all of that, but that's the only thing that really works. Outside of that, I've seen a man fishing, a homeless man fishing, and they threw him in jail because he didn't have a fishing license, and they threw the old dude in jail, and he was fishing, and instead of stealing food, he was fishing and caught some fish and made his own fire to eat his fish, and they threw him in jail for not stealing, pretty much. And he was letting them know that he lives off the land. He doesn't want any help from anything. And then they told him that he has to have his fishing license and everything else like that. And he went to court and did all the stuff, but he was claiming to be a sovereign citizen. And it took years and years and years for just that incident for him to get cleared. But it took years and years and years and years.
Oh,
and years.
that kind of a scenario falls under a different jurisdiction than local and state. The fishing licenses may be issued by your local state and counties, but they're federal. That's a total different bag of rocks to deal with. Now, I'm not going to try and... I know a lot about the law, partly because of the 20 years I spent in security. I also was thinking about becoming an actual officer for my local PD. I never bothered to go through it, but it did take several courses. So I know quite a bit.
Well, let me ask you this one then, TFT. There was a lady, and I would put the video up right now, but I don't want to show it because you have to watch the whole thing. There was a lady, and the police officers, they had trespassed her before, and she has a friend that was trespassed at the park. But what they are doing is they are putting out food and setting traps to cats to get them neutered and everything, and to take them to where they're supposed to go. And they took the old 85-year-old women to jail for trapping the cat. They said you're feeding the cats. That's all we're looking at is you're feeding the cats. They said we have the cages and the traps to trap them. And they said
to be honest, it's
you know what
that
I mean?
again that is something that I would have told them to trespass. I'm sure. Would I have hauled them off to jail? No. Personally, I would have told them, pack up your stuff, go somewhere else, do it on your own private land. Don't come to public parks and stuff for that. So,
took the old ladies to jail, TFT.
They went a little, again, that's something that I say they went overboard with. They shouldn't have gone that far with it, the officers. Now, again, they had been warned previously. So that means they are already on notice that they should not be doing this anymore.
And that's what they told the old ladies. And they were
so when it comes to it, I will say this. When it comes to it, when you've been warned, we don't know how many times they've been warned. But, I mean, if somebody get trespassed like that, usually it's a 2 to 3 times, depending on jurisdictions. So that means those people were warned not once, at least twice, prior to being trespassed each.
But check this out, TFT. Now, here's the craziest thing about this story. Here is the twister. Whenever they trespass the ladies, the cats start having more kittens. So now the park has too many kittens in the park. So
that sounds like they need to get their, as a city, need to get their animal control. And instead of ladies going out and doing it, they should have... The ladies should have gone and got a hold of animal control and taken care of it.
See, and they still took them to jail. They were saying, well, you guys don't have enough people here to catch them.
If that's the case, then they should have gone through and done it the legal route. It's not hard to become an animal control officer.
Yeah, but they're 85, TFT.
Don't matter.
Come on now.
Dude, my local Humane Society, who is the one who does our animal control.
At 85, their mission don't got nothing to do with no testing, nothing. They just trying to go catch
There ain't no test. It takes like 2 seconds to become an animal control officer. All you got to go down is the reporting agency actually doing it. Yeah, for us,
TFT, not 80. We 40.
It don't matter. 80. Age don't matter, brother. I'm telling you, the age doesn't really matter when it comes to that. But I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that.
Ooh, the next old
You wanna
lady
know why I
you
say
walk
that?
by, you better open the door and everything. She gonna smack you in the back of the head, TFT. She
You
gonna
wanna know
smack
why I
you in
say
the
that?
back of the head.
Do you want to know why I say that?
Go ahead, tell me
The
why.
reason I say that is my local humane society shelter, which is the one who does our animal control here. 3 of the 6 officers they have are in their 80s.
Yeah, but were they officers before, or did they say I'm
No,
85 and let me go be an officer?
2 of them just signed up within the last 2 years.
Their son or daughter might have brought them in. They ain't know nothing. They working in the back packing bags. They don't know
No,
nothing.
they're
TFT.
actually driving the cars, picking up the
I'm
animals.
trying to help out I'm trying to help out.
Oh,
I'm
that's what I'm trying to say. There's a way to do things legally. All you got to do is do it.
trying to TFT. I'm trying to help out the 2 85-year-old women that went to
Now, don't get me
jail. I'm
wrong.
trying to help them out.
Their case may be different. They may not be eligible or able to do that job.
Don't cover up your stance, man. I was just trying to help, but people, hey, when you watching Hot Facts, you go get the real of the real. All it takes is to go down there and sign the paper, and
Yes,
you gonna be
it's
like
not hard.
the volunteer cops that drive around in the white car that don't got
Yeah,
no light in the top. It's
basically yes. In fact, I had 4 my last days as a security officer. Some of the officers that came by were volunteers, and most every single one of those volunteers were in their late 50s to early 80s, and most of them were not in shape whatsoever.
No, but they
Uh,
know good. They know how to use the walkie-talkie, and they know all the code words.
yeah,
They know how to report something real good. They know how to report something real good, people. Hey, when you get older, people get involved with your community is the bottom line. You can help out some things and do some stuff like that. Now, TFT, while you are on TFT, I gotta show you a video right now of there is a Amazon delivery driver who let me see. Let me hit close on this. There's an Amazon delivery driver. Now we all know that Amazon is regular. There's nothing special about Amazon
I forget.
to where customers or whatever think that
I did.
you should be getting these extra tips. I'm gonna
Yeah.
show a video of someone trying to make a dumb video about getting food, not even a tip, getting food from Amazon, and you my main man. And I know since you kept it way real right there, TFT said, I don't care how old you are, you can get down there to the ASPCA, get down there to the Humane Society, you can go be an animal cop and trap all the raccoons and cats you want. That's
You
what he
can.
said. That's what he said right there. He kept it way real. So I'm gonna let him fire off after this video. Let me hit mute and let's go.
If you order Amazon every day, every other day, or damn near every week, I'm pretty sure you got the same driver almost every day. And you ain't putting no snacks out there? Bitch, y'all got a bond now. Y'all see each other damn near every day. And you ain't leaving no snacks. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Now, obviously, this was someone trying to get into the gig world, do something that they thought would get some video views or whatever else it was. Obviously, it was scripted, but my whole thing is take away the scripted part. People feel like they're entitled because you go to certain houses and they may have some bottled waters out there or some Cheez-Its. They're just doing it because they know that they get delivery drivers all the time, and they know that we don't have enough time to stop and get things. So as long as we get back
I
and
love
do
those
our
houses.
thing,
They're nice.
they're just helping us out. So to think that you are entitled for if you go to a certain house and they don't leave you with snacks and food, to me, I'm upset about that. And I think that to try to create a video about that just shows that you really don't care. You're trying to get in to make some money somehow. No one's gonna watch that. That person's not gonna get monetized. No one's gonna watch that. That's doing the dumb stuff. That's what I said. That dashing trader, what he did do was he opened up the gate for people to do videos like that, from tipping to mimicking and doing it in other ways to where they feel like we can just go ahead and do this stuff. I feel that's wrong. Let me know how you feel about that, TFT. Watching drivers. Now, first of all, if Amazon gets a hold of that, she's
You know they already have.
She's probably going to get suspended for a couple of days, lose some money, mad, go up there, cut somebody out, and get fired. That's what I think might happen to her. But let me know what you think.
Oh, yeah, she's going to get a reprimand for sure. Write up or whatever you want to call it. Only because that she had her Amazon vest on. Yeah. And she wasn't wearing that. Nobody pay attention to the video anyway because, well, hell, she's not a driver, you know. But my personal opinion, we as drivers are not entitled to anything but what orders we accept. If we accept an offer at $10, that's all we are entitled to receive is that $10. If a customer decides to give us extra, more power to them. If a customer decides they want to be nice and set out a basket of treats and drinks for us, cool. Because trust me, that does help us a lot. Because a lot of drivers do not have time to get out to stop at a McDonald's or 7-Eleven or your local convenience store to grab a quick snack. Because most of the drivers like the Amazon, UPS, FedEx, they're stuck in that truck for a good solid 6 to 8 hours most of the day. Most of the time. Sometimes longer, sometimes less, depending on how big a route they have. Mm-hmm. Like my local postman, my regular mailman, he's on a rural route, which means he delivers to all the folks way out here in the country. There's not a store. There's only one little convenience store about a half a mile or so away from my front door. Yeah, and yeah, he delivers the mail there too, but most of the time he stops there when he delivers the mail and he'll grab him a snack or something. Otherwise,
that's the only place he could stop.
Yeah. And because of that, I know the guy. I've talked to the guy a lot. Well, because most of the time I end up meeting them out here when I get the mail, when the mail shows up. And I will give him a bottle of water, Arizona, Gatorade, after he's hungry. He doesn't usually accept food, but he's more than happy to take a drink. Because a lot of those older mail vehicles do not have air conditioning. They do not have a lot of the luxuries that we take for granted in our own vehicles. Right. Now, the Amazon drivers are a bit different. They drive those nice, pretty vans and stuff. They have air conditioning. They have everything.
They have that. They have that new truck. They have that new truck that starts up. It's electric, and it's got the windows and everything, and it's like a refrigerator in there now.
Yeah, and things are there's no way any of them drivers are getting exhausted and overheated.
You're talking about the traditional trucks that me and you are used to. The dude got the boat.
That's what we get.
Even if it's raining.
Those are the trucks that we get out here on my route. We don't get the newer United States Postal vehicles or the minivans and whatnot. We get the old school mail truck. That's probably running on his last legs because it's seen like 500,000 plus miles of service.
He's still getting out there with them little shorts on, them little brown shorts on. He's still getting out there with the scrunchy socks. He's still getting it.
It's right. They're out here, and now don't get me wrong. Your UPS, man, they make good money. They make better money than most of us gig workers do.
Well, that's because most of the gig workers turn down too many orders, and these drivers who are driving for these companies are getting paid every single hour. And
Yeah, and when it comes to it's also the guys doing the driving for UPS. They have been around with the company for a while. You don't get put in as a driver right off the street. You got to work for that. I mean, you got to go through be the guy loading the trucks, be the guy unloading the trucks, and all that stuff before you could have an opportunity to do that. And I mean, I'm not talking about just a day or two. You got to be there a couple of years. You know, once you get on board one of them trucks, you are now one of the veterans of the company, kind of thing. They know you're trustworthy and respectful and all that, so they don't mind putting you in charge of 150, 300 packages to go out and deliver because they know you're going to do it.
Yeah, but then they go give you a route where, look, these dudes go get mad because you only going out driving for like 2.5 hours a day, and they got to go out there and drive 8 hours a day. You go out there for 2.5 hours a day, and then you drive back to the facility when you feel like it. And then when you get back, you just try to make sure, what I got going in for the next day. You got it made, man. You got it made. Now there's gonna be a shift in the gig world, especially with the people that have the cargo vans and cargo trucks. We spoke a little bit about that. You talked about getting the camper shell to go over just so that you can have some more stuff going on. And that's going to be real beneficial. Now, I don't know if you were aware that the other day, UBM was on Steve Wright's Share Rodeo show, and UBM was talking about using the app, the Driver Utility Helper app, for the catering side. Now, we do know that the Driver Utility Helper, you put your specifications in for what you want to do, and it automatically picks everything for you. So if you are a human,
look, when it comes to that particular set of features, because first off, like Gary there says, the utility helper, honestly, it does not work for any other app.
No, see, Gary's here. Yeah. Gary's here. Should I just bring Gary on? Should I just bring Gary on?
Oh, if he's willing to come up, he's more than welcome to. Right, I've got no problems with Gary.
No, I don't have any either. And I want Gary to understand that I'm not saying his app is doing something. He has to understand that. That's why it's hard when you read things sometimes. I've said it in my thing. Gary Middleton from Middleton Technologies, if you can actually click the link so that you can understand what I'm about to get into, and so that you understand why I'm saying and reporting on some things right here. And if you
don't get me wrong, I wish his app did work for like Uber too, because that would be nice. But because I use his app myself.
All right, Gary. I see what you're saying right here, but see, I really wish, because then I got to go ahead and keep going back to read. So we're getting into the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to actually get into with this live show. Now, I was
to be honest, I think the only thing I actually use that app for is just the Staccato screenshot feature.
Man, the app it's a bot. So a human, you don't have to even look at your thing. It's just going to do it yourself. So you have the fastest finger in the world. Only
if you have those features turned on first off and set. It doesn't do it automatically.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, when you get in and do it, that's what it's going to do. You get in there and set it up. That's what it's going to do.
However, again, DoorDash is the only app it works for. DoorDash, it's not like you're round robining orders. It's not like Spark. So
You
it's
know,
like when the
yeah.
offer is sent to you, yeah. But honestly, the only thing that kind of feature is going to do is it's going to restrict those drivers who have those features set on certain types of orders.
Well, I was
Yeah,
thinking about an upgrade earlier, TFT. The upgrade could be that it can you pick one and it picks another one. But I'm just going off of the fact that during the live stream with UDM, and UDM's put some videos up, and some are on bystander number one's chat channel also, that speaking about how you just have to watch it. You have to go watch those things, people. I'm not going to go and paraphrase. You got to go ahead and watch. UDM has it, and bystander number one has them up there. Also, on Rideshare Rodeos Live, they have the Para guy, the guy that looks like what was his name? Tim Henson looks like one of his characters in one of his movies.
Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, him, yes.
The Muppet guy.
Yeah, him, yeah. Looks like him. The Para guy is sitting up there, and we all saw what Para did as far as to DoorDash. As far as now, we all know that because of all the cheating and the transparency that they were stealing from the customers to figure out this and that, DoorDash has told things to go ahead and fix certain things to start switching all this stuff up, right? So now,
Gary, he wasn't saying that you were actually planning anything. He's just saying that he's thinking of something that you could do or may want to talk to you about doing. I don't know.
Yeah, Gary, that's why I was wishing you could click the link. So we saw that Para made more people on DoorDash start accepting more orders. We saw that Para, because of what it was doing, people were like, I'm not going to get deactivated, and we're going to go ahead and get on the pizza program, the large order program, and get our acceptance rate up. So that's what Para did. It was a failure because they violated terms on people's privacy. So my whole thing is, why would someone even try to entertain that on the food catering side? To where the driver
as a person who has used Para in the past before the big scandal, it didn't make me accept more, didn't make me decline more. And honestly, I didn't really even like the interface and usage of it. There's too many things in front of my screen which I didn't like, so I terminated that. As for Gary's app, I actually do like it. Mainly for the only reason I really use his app for is, one, I like to keep track of the time it takes on orders and how long I've been waiting, which his app does that. His app does track that from the minute you accept an order to the minute you complete it.
Gary's app is better than Para's app. Gary's app
very
is
much so.
better than
However,
Para.
Gary's app doesn't tell you if there's a tip in it or not. Gary's app doesn't do any of that. What it does is it breaks down the initial offer.
That's why I wish Gary was up here, because that's what I'm trying to put the difference in.
Gary's app breaks down the initial offer by $1 to mile.
Yeah, because Gary knows the limit on what to do. He did not cross the boundary there. He did not cross the boundary.
I will say this. There is a feature on his app that I want to try, but I haven't done it yet, and that's the voice activation stuff. Where I just basically sit back and say, if I see an order I like, I can say accept, and don't even have to touch my phone. Or decline, and you'll get rid of it.
Bot, though. Gary's app is considered a bot. Do you agree with that? It's considered a bot. It's a bot.
It can be considered a bot if you use it that way. However, using a botted type app, I've spoke to a couple DoorDash representatives using his app.
Settings in, and it picks it for you no matter what. You're not doing it. That's AI. That's a bot.
Yeah, you may not be physically accepting the order or declining it, but you're the one still physically completing it. Because because the
Yeah,
bot is
but
not
that's
going
the
to be able
bot
to complete
though.
the order for you. The bot
That's
can't
bot.
complete the order for you. The bot will not take his app will not take a picture of your order if you drop it off. His app will not take the order from the restaurant to the customer. So the only thing that would be considered a bot functionality would be the accepting or declining of orders.
Yes, that's what I'm
That is all.
saying. The accepting of the order is going to beat any human.
Yes. However, that
So
doesn't matter when it
that's
comes
what I mean
to
by a bot.
DoorDash.
That's the bot.
But
That's a bot.
that doesn't matter according in the terms when it comes to the way DoorDash distributes its orders.
Well,
If
no,
DoorDash doesn't send out an order to you and I see the exact same order, so if I'm faster, I get it. It doesn't. That doesn't work that way.
yeah, but it's gonna when the order comes out, there could be other people with the same settings as you for what you're trying to pick for an order.
Yeah.
And
And
if
the way DoorDash sends out the orders, it only goes to one driver at a time.
yes, but all right. So let's say that there's 10 truck drivers out, right? And there's only one person using the app. That driver is going to get the orders faster and quicker than all the other drivers there.
Yes and no. Because if the order is pinged to his phone, it's not pinged to the other drivers. Period. So
No,
it's like
but
only
I'm
one
saying
driver gets an order at a time, so it doesn't matter. It's not like I said, it's not like Spark, for instance, where every order that comes across Spark, every driver in the market sees it. And whoever clicks it faster is the one who gets it. Now, if Gary's app was on Spark, that would be considered a bot and a breach of term of service. But it's only on DoorDash. DoorDash doesn't do the offers that way where every driver or multiple drivers see the same offer. They only see the one offer that's on their screen at a time.
that's
Yes,
what
now
I'm
that
saying.
driver,
He still
now
has
yes,
a
that
bot.
driver, bot is kind of a bad term in my opinion for it. For the instance of my reasoning of that, yes, that app will help us accept an order faster than we can physically do it ourselves. But when it comes to this type of app, for DoorDash, for instance, or for Uber, for that matter, since neither one of those apps dispatch the same order to multiple drivers, it is not anything that could be used as a term of service breaking. Because if it's an order you are going to accept anyway, and it meets the parameters you set, you're going to accept it regardless. So what matters? What doesn't matter if you accept it in 5 milliseconds versus the 2 seconds or whatever to look at it and look over it yourself?
Well, it does it automatically. That's what
Yes.
makes it. Yeah, it just does it
That's why
automatically.
what I just said. It's what I just said, Reese. Yeah, it's like if it's an order you are going to accept anyway, it makes no difference if you accept it in 5 seconds, where you're sitting there looking over the mileage and everything yourself and pushing the accept button manually, or if the app is going to do it for you in 2 milliseconds. What's the difference? What's the difference?
Well, if it's gonna do it, like, all right. Well, here's the thing: you could look at an order and then decide as a human.
Yes.
But if you don't even get the choice, it just does it by itself. It's
Yeah,
already
it doesn't. It's only doing it by itself because it's following the parameters that you set. So that means that was an order you would have been happy to take regardless. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is like, what's the difference if you have an app accepting the order that you're going to accept anyway, versus you just sitting there and looking at it, being, okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Well, the advantage just of having a bot go ahead and pick it. Now, my next.
Well, as you said, the bot's not picking anything.
Well,
that's
that's the argument there. That's like the chicken come before the egg. That's the thing right there. But the main thing is that UDM put a video out, and it's been put on bystander number 1 channel, with him talking about the app with the catering side and things like that. And then they talk about having Para on the catering side. And I feel that if the Duh app on the catering side, it'll help people go ahead and do some things. Now, the Para thing, though, the Para thing, though, on the catering side, to even entertain that and have that discussion out there after knowing what it did on how most of the people on DoorDash feel like would happen, why would even the entertainment of trying to take over the catering side come to your mind? You see what I mean, TFP?
Mm-hmm. I agree with you there, Cody.
Why would you even try to think about it on the catering side, where that's going to mess up a lot of stuff?
Well, first off, it's Cody. You say the app seems more like a safety feature, which it does. But again, when it comes to catering apps, unless Gary himself is the one saying that it's going to be used, I ain't paying no damn attention to it. Because Gary's the creator of the app; he's the sole proprietor of that app.
No, right. That's another thing that I wanted him to, if he was able to click on, because seeing that someone has put some videos out, and even the speculation when someone has 15,000 subs and they're doing some speculations, and then they get on a live show and the speculations, the conversation even leads more into the speculations, and then
how much of that is speculation or them wishful thinking? Yeah, that's one thing I gotta say.
Well, you gotta think about this, TFT. The video, the live was taken down.
Yes, it was taken down because they're talking about shit that would be detrimental to the catering services. And I guarantee you they probably got solicited by Novodyne Lunchbox or Easy Cater or whoever, or somebody who may be trying to make an app like that and failing, because those companies are not going to tolerate that.
Yeah, but you got to also understand this. UDM is sponsored by Delivered That. So if something like that is being spoke about, and he is someone that is sponsored, they don't want people to think that he's going out there with an advantage on going out doing all this stuff.
From what I understand about that Delivered That,
that's what I said. The speculation of, and then having the conversation, and then having it shut down. All of these other things can be speculated, though.
When it comes to Deliver That, I don't know much about that particular app. But because I just found out they're actually now in my market, so I'm going to be signing up with them myself. But what little stuff I have seen about Deliver That is its job listing, I guess you could say, for orders is just that. It's a big bulletin board. You pick and choose what you want. And I mean, you're not the only one seeing it. So in that terms, those types of apps would be against terms of services.
Right. Exactly.
Now that has nothing to do with Gary's app, though, unfortunately.
No. But what I'm saying is, all right. Now here is the tie-in with Gary's app. Gary is cool with all of that over there, right? At some point, someone is gonna say, if something is going wrong, someone is gonna say, well, isn't the Duh app the one behind it? I guarantee that comes out of someone's mouth. So
and if it does, then Gary will have a lawsuit against somebody.
But this is why in the early phases of it, HotFacts is talking about it, and I didn't know Gary's home internet thing was there, because I would have loved for him to click on so we can go ahead and talk about this.
Maybe we can work something out where when his internet's restored, we can have him on as a guest for a special show about that type of topic. Yeah, but that's up to Mr. Middleton here, and if he'd be willing to do that, I would be more than happy to attend it as a somewhat user of his app. I don't use every feature, because honestly, personally, it just seems a little annoying to me on setting everything up. And I personally don't want something picking my orders for me. And it's not picking orders for me, technically, because I'm the one putting the parameters, is choosing off of what I told it to do. But personally, I like to look at my orders personally.
Right.
Yeah, because that lets me look at item counts. That lets me back up to go to my floating widget on Android, so I can see what kind of stuff I'm going to be dealing with if I want to even take the order or not.
Well, no one's been deactivated for using the driver utility helper. No one has ever been deactivated.
And no one should be, because it's technically not against terms of services.
Exactly. We've only heard of people being.
And I have that straight from DoorDash themselves. Yeah.
Well, that's why I said he knew where to not cross the line. Cara went to a different level and was like, "We got to go ahead," and then when you get beat up and knocked down, they trying to come back and let's talk about the catering side. I just think that was a waste of breath. Like, no one, don't do that.
No, I might get in touch with you, Gary. Thank you for that offer of assistance. But like I said, I mainly only really use your app for the auto screenshot feature and the timer. I kind of like the timer.
Well, see, look, and check this out. They over there like people. We over here on Hot Facts. This is why this is the official news channel of the gig world. We talk about the Duh app. We talk about this or that. We got people over here that do everything that everybody else does. It's just that our opinions are matter of fact instead of being after the fact.
I wouldn't talk about Gary's app if I didn't use it.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk about Para if I hadn't tried it. You know?
Right.
I'm the kind of guy, unless I have my own personal experience with something, I will not speak on it. Yeah, and I mean, if you ask me a question and seriously want an answer for something that I have no experience on, I will tell you. I have no experience in that field, but my personal opinion is blah, blah, blah. You know? So that's all. That's all I got to say on that.
Well, he said that. He sounded like Forrest Gump. He said that's all I got to say about
So come on now.
No, you just cracked. No, that was a crack me up for myself right there. I don't know a lot of you guys on it. I thought that was hilarious. Whoever don't think that was hilarious, shame on you for not watching Forrest Gump. After he was done telling the story, that's what he said after every single story he told. That's all I gotta say about that. And that's what it is there. Now, I gotta ask you this: do you think Para will ever make a return? And if you do, what field do you think they can come into, and what changes do you think they need to make?
Well, to be honest, Para. That solo app is honestly basically Para, in my opinion. I don't know for sure. I haven't used solo, but from what I've seen of it, it's basically a paid-for Para.
Okay.
But that's my personal opinion. Has no affiliation with Hot Facts or Robert Reese or anything to do with this show. That's just one man's personal opinion. So if you have offense with it, take your hate mail and speech and throw it in the garbage, because ain't nobody gonna listen to it.
John McFall has another one also. John McFall has a spreadsheet that calculates and does all that stuff that you can download.
Oh, that's a spreadsheet. It doesn't do anything unless you put numbers in it. That's basically just a glorified calculator. You know? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for educating me about Solo a little bit on that, Gary. Like I said, I don't know Solo. I've never used it. I'm not going to speak on it. But from what I've seen personally, it looks to me like a glorified Para. But that's my personal opinion, like I said.
Yeah. And isn't Solo the app that if you don't make your guarantee?
Yeah, they're the one that had a guarantee amount that if they don't, they'll pay you.
they'll go
You
ahead and pay
know,
you that. So pretty much they tried to create a Prop
a rolling Prop 22. However, you got to pay. I think it's a monthly. Is it monthly, Gary, or is it an annual fee, or is it both?
Well, solo is not to NC. That's the whole thing. It's to increase your earnings so you don't have. All right, so here's the whole thing with solo. What the other states are doing in New York is now New York has two options. One option is it's going to be
Okay,
based
I'm just
upon
gonna go look it
active
up.
time, and they're going to charge the customers a fee for their deliveries, which is Prop 22, or they're going to try to see if they can give them all the online time, and then they can go ahead and get this guarantee there. New York is going to do option 2 with the active time and doing the other thing. Solo people, let me tell you this: in these states that have an hourly pay guarantee, you don't have to pay a monthly fee to get that guarantee. It's already there. So
Simply independent work by
solo is for
optimizing your
places
insurance
that
tracking
don't have it.
mileage. Let's see.
Yeah, monthly fee with solo, get a guarantee pay. That is what we're saying, people. And especially this is why I had to shut down Pedro and Hannibal doing their upcoming content, the next 10 videos about California. That's why I shut that down. They said that he got paid for no reason.
How
Reason
daily
no.
a co-guarantee
He
works.
got paid because when you order food, every
Okay.
customer pays $2 extra, and that goes into a big account, and that pays all the Prop 22 for all the people there. That's what we voted for. You didn't just go get paid for no reason. You got paid for wait time and anything else that could have happened. That's what you got paid for. Now, solo, because it's not all over the place, they're saying pay us a little bit of money to get a guarantee. Well, people, when you drive and you work here, the guarantee that you get here in California, solo, what you're paying, you're not going to get the same guarantee. You're not going to get the same
It doesn't
guarantee
work in
that
solo.
you get in Washington and all that other stuff. You know what I
Oop,
mean? This is why your
wrong
state
button.
should be trying to get inside there and fight a little bit to get you guys a little something extra, because all the sideways comments about California and all this other stuff, it's all out of the way. Solo is a way to do what we have here, but take money from you. Now everybody's got to make money.
Yeah, I just looked over the solo stuff. It doesn't apply in every single state, or it applies in a good number of states, but not everyone. It's $5.99 a month, from what I saw on their thing. They do have a 2-week trial for free. It does do mileage tracking and a bunch of other stuff that would actually be beneficial for a lot of gig workers. But I wouldn't personally. I don't really like paying for stuff too much. I actually currently am no longer a subscribed member for the driver utility helper, so that's why a lot of the features, honestly, I don't really get to use anymore. Like the one I actually like the most, which is the auto screenshot of every offer that comes in. I wish Mr. Middleton would make that part of the free feature set, but yeah, that's okay.
No, that is a cool feature there, because when you're driving or something, you'll just get a screenshot that flashes real quick on your phone. Is that how it works?
As soon as the offer pops up, within like a half a second or something, it makes your phone take a screenshot of it. You can physically beat it if you tap the button before it takes a screenshot, but your phone will notify you that a screenshot was taken. Or the app does, actually.
And you get to go ahead and take a look at it. That is a cool feature. That's a cool feature right there. Taking a screenshot
and it does track your mileage for your shift you're on. It does that for free too, by the way, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you upload your mileage? Let's say if you have like Intuit QuickBooks or something like that. Could you?
I don't know, but you can export it into a text document. I know that. I don't know if it'll sync up with like QuickBooks or something, but it can be exported to your computer under a spreadsheet, Excel, or text document, and you can just copy and paste the numbers over.
Okay. Okay.
I was like, personally, for tax purposes and mileage wise, I'm actually just using the MileIQ app, which I actually kind of like it.
Oh, all right, yeah. I just use my QuickBooks, my self-employed business. I have it all tracked. You know, it all tracks me.
Yeah, it's like the MileIQ app tracks literally every if you move more than like 10 or 15 feet or some shit, or it starts tracking the mileage.
Gary's answering what I was asking about. He said Noah does not integrate into other platforms. I don't have investors. All that money costs to get set that up. Well, I might have to be your mouthpiece, and I might have to book an appointment on Shark Tank and get you in there.
Mr. Anderson was asking him if he was close to bringing his app over to iOS, and Andrew, from what I understand of the whole app programming process and having your app listed in the app stores, Google honestly doesn't really care. You can pretty much make anything and throw it up there, and they even give
hell nah. Hold up. Gary said, hell nah.
I don't want investors.
Like me, I'm grinding now. I'm about to bring HotFacts. People, y'all don't understand. HotFacts, you don't even, I told y'all watching it from the ground up. I'm putting I don't want no investors. I got my team. We go grow. People, you go see TFT on a t-shirt that says, what you gonna say? It's gonna be his last words. It's gonna say, do the job right. It's gonna say, do the job. It's just gonna say, do the job. His face gonna be there. It's gonna say, do the job. It's gonna be right underneath. And in the back, you gonna see dollar signs. That's gonna be a TFT shirt. Y'all better pay attention. Shoot. Y'all better pay attention.
I don't know about going that far with it, brother. But yeah, thank
you. He go get it. He go get it. Now,
ain't nobody gonna put this ugly mug on a t-shirt and wear it.
I gotta bring up some. Oh, what's good, J Caddy Beats, my man J Caddy in Phoenix, Arizona, out there. Speaking of Arizona, we're gonna go to a gig tuber. His name is Saying It Like It Is. Okay, his name is Saying It Like It Is. That is the name of his channel. And a lot of you guys, I'm gonna get into the Hollywood gig news section real quick. A lot of you guys know that there's been a little bit of bad blood since Pedro and Hannibal came out here and they said that I was this and that. And then a lot of you guys know that back in the day that I called Hannibal and Uncle Tom, and he was upset about it. Well, today what is gonna happen right now is I'm gonna hold up. Let me see.
No problem, Mr. Middleton. You have a good night. Go eat your food and have a good meal. I hope you have a great night, man. Mr. Anderson, I must say, why wait for the S23? It's not much of an upgrade over the S22. The S22 works beautiful.
Oh, hey, my Samsung worked good. Now I'm about to put this video up. We're gonna go to Chandler, Arizona. This guy has some things to say about he has some things to say about Hannibal that
I gotta sit back into my office and charge my phone.
I'm gonna hit mute and here we go.
I never get tired of this. Making Angel Soft strong and
For 2 minutes. Okay, Uncle Tom. You know who you are, Hannibal? You know who you are, Hannibal? Anymore. Dino's not the man anymore. Delivery. Oh, he's not cool anymore. Dino's not the cool guy anymore. For 2 minutes on a delivery. Cool. Dino is the man. Oh, Dino got upset. What happened? I thought Dino And then on the live stream, Dino is cool. Well, but once in a while, boy Pedro, so he had to go at me. Because before, you don't get another job. But he knows that. You know why he made that comment? Why? Because he thought I was going after his boy Pedro, so he had to go at me. Because before, not all the time, because we don't communicate that much with Hannibal, but once in a while, in the comments, Dino is cool. And then on the live stream, Dino is the man. What happened? I thought Dino was cool. Dino is the man. Oh, Dino got upset for 2 minutes on a delivery. Oh, he's not cool anymore. Dino's not the cool guy anymore. Dino's not the man anymore. You know who you are, Hannibal? You are an Uncle Tom, and you are a fruitcake. If you believe that you can get upset for 2 minutes or get mad about something on a job, if you believe that you can get, you know who you are, Hannibal? You are an Uncle Tom. Not cool anymore. Dino's not the cool guy anymore. Dino's not the man anymore. You know who you are, Hannibal? You are an Uncle Tom, and you are a fruitcake.
Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but think I was calling him a UT a long time ago. I didn't throw in the FC, the fruitcake, but I thought that was the funniest thing. I dang near choked on my hot dog I was eating. I thought that was the most funniest thing I've ever heard. He called him an Uncle Tom and a fruitcake. But see, the Uncle Tom thing comes in this right here. And I just want all you guys to know that Saying It Like It Is was the name of that channel right there. That person agrees with Hot Facts and Team Hot Facts. And I want to thank him for being a part of Team Hot Facts from now on out. I would just like to thank him for being a part of Team Hot Facts from now on out. Whenever you have something to say about that gentleman right there, you are a part of Team Hot Facts. And I just want you to know that we welcome you in. Now, most people think that when someone calls someone an Uncle Tom, it's a black person calling another black person an Uncle Tom, right? This was a little bit different. This is someone else figuring out that, dang, what all the black people say about this dude is an Uncle Tom. And he said that. Now, we probably know that the history with Hannibal is Hungry and what he did with Bentley Coupe. He'll probably make some videos to respond back because that's what he does. Hopefully, Saying It Like It Is, your last name is not Solis because he'll call you Solus. But at the same time, man, I thought it was so hilarious that someone completely opposite, he's part of the Lion's Den and everything else like that, would repeat the same things that have came out of my mouth. And we're not even part of the same race, people. So this has nothing to do with black or white. This just has to do with the integrity and how someone views a certain individual. And two separate sides of the fence agreed that this person is this, which means that this person, chances are, it came from two separate sides of the parties, like Republican or Democrat or Greenpeace and Green Party or Truly Indie and Kanye West. They came together on this same exact thing, which means that you're probably a scumbag. This means that you are probably a scumbag. I knew it all along when you got mad when I did the comparison in the beginning of my news channel with UDM and Pedro, and you start calling me Wendy Williams and TMZ. I did not like the Wendy Williams and calling me that stuff, but I did appreciate the TMZ because that let me know that you recognize what I was going to be way back then. And I passed you up like so fast. So I appreciate you acknowledging that I was going to be way bigger than you so much faster. That was a great, gesture from you to me. But the greatest thing is that after you thought that I was leaving you alone, we get someone else. Now, your boy Pedro, DoorDash Santiago, Mr. Bet on You, he goes on the Lion's Den and he appears in Gig Wars and he talks to all these people and you guys are buddy, bromance, giving hugs and slapping butts and nut grabbing and all that other stuff on what you guys, I don't know what you guys do, but that's what the comments say. I'm just going off of what the comments say. That's not what I think. I don't think you guys nut grab, but I do think you guys slap butts. So I just want to just go ahead and let you know that. But for someone else that goes on a place where one of your best guys goes, and for you to start dissing him over something minor, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Something minor is crazy. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody has a bad day when you're out there. You ain't got a day every day. You'll have a day when you're upset and things like that. You'll have a day like that. Bystander number 2 thought that I was going to talk about him, but I'm not. Everybody can have a bad day. But just because you have a bad day don't mean you get up there and try to trash that person when they speak at least a little bit of logic every day. And then when they come back at you, you get so upset to try to trash them a little bit. Well, he called you a UT and a fruitcake. I'm not the smartest man, but chances are if two people's on the opposite side of one fence agree that one person is like this, you might be a scumbag.
I just have a question. Why the term Uncle Tom to describe him?
Okay, so, you want to get deep on this? All right.
No, I'm just asking because the Merriam-Webster's definition of the term Uncle Tom is somebody who is excessively subservient, a black man who is excessively subservient to white people.
Okay. Yes.
You know,
No,
I don't see him being subservient to Pedro or anybody for that matter.
Okay.
From what I've witnessed of his video content, which isn't a whole lot, mind you.
You gotta pay attention. You gotta look at, all right. When he is over there, let's go ahead and break this down so everyone can understand out there. When he's over there he has a show at Rideshare Rodeo, right?
Yeah.
All right. Rideshare Rodeo and them doing the Colorado coffee and everything. They made the thing about I don't want to drive in this certain areas. I don't want to get jacked and all this other stuff. And they do all this stuff, right? Whoop, whoop, whoop. If Hannibal is not there on the show, they have to wait at least like 2 months to try to get in for him, right? Steve dictates everything on the show, what they're going to talk about. Whoop, whoop, whoop. They have a narrative that they put out there. Pedro is also a part of that. The only person that sits there that does not like, there's a lot of things, and I'm sitting like, how is he sitting there and letting them, like, how is he doing this show and not saying this stuff? He is the token black dude. The token black dude who don't say nothing. And when other people are saying things that are real, at least when I brought out some stuff about some other things, Dash Theory TV was like, I completely agree. Hannibal still has not said anything, and he goes along with whatever his ride is because he's trying to ride the coattail. He's trying to be the out. All right. Hannibal is the house nigga that snitches on the other house niggas because he don't want no other house nigga in the house. And he's an Uncle Tom because he will not speak up on anything and do certain things. When I brought up the let's try to do a Black History thing, and I wrote all these dudes, and even when UDM was here, he didn't even say, hey, well, let's put this stuff aside and even try to do it. Uncle Toms don't want to get involved with someone that has something to say. And in Black society, in our culture, on how we were brought up here, there's certain ones of us who act and portray that all the way. He is someone that someone else who was not Black even understood that. And I'm not the only person to read there's tons of comments of people, and all he does is give a heart because he knows we are watching you. We watch what you say, we watch what you do, we watch what you don't do, we watch what you go along with. Only Uncle Toms do that. I am most definitely not an Uncle Tom. They might call me.
Okay. Okay. You're going more. It sounds like you're going more with the Urban Dictionary version, which is just a
No,
person of any race or any color that degrades his own people.
right,
Is
but
their
but
definition.
in the Black culture and being not African American, I'm talking about being Black. There's a difference. There's a
Well, no,
difference.
no. So the Urban Dictionary's got this a couple different versions of this here. Like, for instance, that was the first one that I read off. Is Uncle Tom's a person of any race or any color that degrades his own people on a consistent basis. Now that's or a secondary definition of that would be classified the term race traitor. Another definition here is African American male who kisses the white man's ass for verbatim off the site. You
Okay.
know,
The first two are dead on. Keep going. Keep going.
uh,
What's the next one? What's the next one? What's
the
the
next
next
one on the Urban Dictionary is just says Kanye West in 2018. I don't know what that's referencing because I don't really follow Kanye West.
That's because
Uh,
that's when he got all the super billions. That's what they talking about. They said he got
Here, the
billions.
next one, which is the last one I'm going to bother to read, is a two-phase. It says it's a derogatory term for an African American individual who doesn't stand up for racism, especially about their own race. The second portion of that definition is a derogatory term for an African American who makes attempts to please, in quotations, the white man.
Right. All right. The first two you read and the last one. You put those together. That's Hannibal. That's Hannibal. That's Hannibal. Look at Cody. He said, I saw plenty of UT types beat down on the prison yard. Cody knows what I'm talking about. Now, the very last one, which you said, there's certain things that we talk about here, and especially I try to bring things out that will rub some feathers a little bit, but it needs to be brought out and spoke about. There's a few content creators who are afraid to even go into that lane. And for someone that says that he has a big presence, he's this in the community and this and all this other stuff in the gig world and all this other stuff, there are things that you have not addressed that Hot Facts is addressing instantly right off the jump. You got to address these things. Like when I said that, when I brought up that you can be Arab, Asian, Black, white, you can be Romanian, you can be Jewish, you can live in a certain part of town, and I guarantee that if you are from where they are, you're gonna make some good money over there. People were mad
But
that I
from those definitions, Cody, yeah, you'd be correct. Except for I think turncoat is more of a broader term.
yeah, turncoat. You know what? Ooh, you know what? I would use turncoat if we are talking about like if we are in the military, not like 1770 something, turncoat. I went to the other side over the other one. You know, today a turncoat might mean that if we use the urban thing, I'm guessing it might say a gang member that went to a rival gang or something. You know what I mean? You turned coat. You were a prospect for one biker gang,
Well,
and then
you
you
can
went
also
to another one.
technically use the term turncoat for even somebody who's exclusively used DoorDash and then has abandoned it for Uber.
Right. Oh,
They're-
perfect. TFT, I love you. I love you because that's not violent. That is exactly that's not violent. That's exactly what it is. You know, you say, oh, I hate Grubhub. I hate it to death. I will never do Grubhub. And then all of a sudden you got 50 videos of Grubhub videos up there. What's going on?
That's not a turncoat, that's a hypocrite.
That's a hypocrite. Cody said a turncoat is a traitor. Yeah.
You know, that's basically what a turncoat is. It's you're doing something for somebody, or you're working with somebody. Like for instance, let's just say that you guys know I come here all the time. I pop in pretty much whenever I feel like it to talk with Reese about whatever he's got going on, and interject my own thoughts in here sometimes. If I just went and did that to say, with Pedro every Sunday, I would be a turncoat.
Hey, people, I didn't even tell him that. That's just the way he feel. Hot facts is hot facts, and it's a feeling. And it's a feeling. It's a feeling. And there you go. We ain't no turncoat. Just like Cody's in here typing. Cody types in a whole bunch of other lies and stuff. But Cody knows he can come here to Hot Facts and get his thing. If I never seen Cody again and I see a live and he says, oh, Robert sucks, he's a turncoat. That's what a turncoat would be. You see, people, we talking about some real stuff right here. Sports fans, you guys are weird. You can like a favorite player. You can like a favorite player. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, you just got me with a good one right there. Because me personally, back in the day when I used to actually bother to watch a lot of sports because I had time. I never really cared about any particular team. I followed players.
Salute Uber Jeep AZ. Go ahead, TFT. I'm just giving a salute to Uber Jeep AZ.
No. He's fully correct on that. I go, when it comes to the apps, I use every single one of them as long as I make my money. I don't care if it's DoorDash, Uber, Spark, Point Pickup, Shipt, whatever. I don't care. Whatever's going to make me my money. But if I were a YouTuber and I was putting out DoorDash content and bashing DoorDash, and then all of a sudden flipped the script and stopped doing DoorDash and went and did something else and abandoned that, a lot of the viewership I would have been considered me a turncoat because I'm no longer doing that. Yeah, and I've turned traitor, so to speak.
Oh, you know what would be the biggest definition of a turncoat is if TFT, if you and I and our group on Hot Facts stop doing customer service, we would be what would we be? Would we be tyrants? What would we be? Like, would we be the
We'd be broke.
Of the earth? Will we be the
We'd be broke.
Oh, okay.
You know damn well our customer service is about, I want to say, at least 75 to 80% of the money we make.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But we would still be turncoats, though. We would be turncoats, or we would be
no, I wouldn't say turncoat, but we would definitely be betraying. We'd be betraying ourselves.
Would it be espionage or something? What would it be?
It's treachery.
It's treacherous. They would hang us, TFT. Yeah. They would hang us or do us like Braveheart and cut off our limbs and put them on each corner of each corner.
It's like, I mean, honestly, if I stopped doing things the way I do things and started doing them like everybody else, the no tippers, the angry people who are shoving phones in people's faces, I'd probably end up getting kicked off of these apps.
What's up, Ghost? Go ahead, TFT. I'm just saying, what's up to Ghost?
No, I'd probably end up getting kicked off of the apps because the customers and the merchants would be bitching to high heaven about me.
Right. Hey, oh, TFT. Oh, they fixed the Walmart Spark app in my area down here. And earlier
It's
today, I went
sort of
on.
been fixed in mine, but it's still not that great. I got too many drivers.
I'm getting busy tomorrow. Today, I did a couple orders. I did 2 orders. The first one was $33 for 4.7 miles, and the next one was a shop and pay. It
Let's
was
see here.
$29 for 2.7 miles. Went and knocked them things out. I was in there shopping, knocking it down. Made a couple shorts. Went
Yeah,
to
I've had a couple of orders over the past week myself, but it's not very many. It's too many drivers on Spark in my market. Uh, One wasn't all that great. I probably should have took it, but I did anyway. Well, actually, it wasn't bad. It was 11.93, 2 orders for 2.3 miles, and then I had a shop and pay 4 miles for $34. So
Oh, hey, these numbers I'm about to put up in these next days, while as long as this app is up like this, I'm about to go ham on how it used to be real quick. I'm just gonna use Uber to fill in, and I'm about to just knock these things out. Cody
mm,
said treason, yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
treason,
what
yeah,
the treason is.
treason, yeah. You don't want to get hit with treason. You get hit with treason, your own country is man, shoot. What Jeep say? He said, "Yep, more people are turning to delivery because of fuel savings. Gas is killing folks out there.
Yeah.
Rideshare can drain a tank and a bank. Yeah,
Oh,
and
bro, I don't even talk to me about fuel prices, man. Cheapest gas station in my town right now is $4.49 a gallon.
I'm 439 right now in TFT, so you 10 cents higher than me, man. Like at least a month ago, it was in the threes, right?
Yep, it was down
It
to like
was
339, 329 if I got
It was
lucky.
in it was in the threes, man. I'm kind of mad about that. I put gas in right when I get in the car to start, and then like during my thing, if I feel like I got to put a little bit more in, I go ahead and knock that out. But I try to make sure I made enough to go ahead and put the little bit in there so that my profit
Mm-hmm.
is good.
Let's see. The way I was running things where stuff was going good, even though gas prices were like almost $6 a gallon, I was filling my tank up. Yeah, and I'd burn about maybe half a tank, but on that half a tank, which was like about 35, $40, I was still making 250. It's not as good about that anymore. It's like gas prices are going up. I've been seeing a large number of out of city and out of state drivers in my market, which is hurting me a bit. Now this week, and I've had a lot of personal things happen, life stuff, real life shit it's taken me out of work. Like this week, I've only I haven't got to work hardly at all. But I got what let's see here. I'll tell you my numbers exactly. This week on Spark, I've got like $67. I think I've made like $30 on Uber, and in like what was it, 10 hours? Let's see here. It was a total of like 10 or 12 hours worth of work. Yeah, 12 hours worth of work. I got the 67 on Spark, like 30 on Uber, and 225 on DoorDash. So it's about $350 for the week.
But look at this.
That's $350 on like 10 hours.
He said he's paying. He says $3.99 for cheap. I run the 89 instead of 91, and I add
81,
fuel additive to the 89. That's not a bad idea. Put the gas treatment in, octane boost, whatever you go ahead.
Well, the bottles of fuel injector cleaner, octane booster, all that, they're the same stuff.
Yeah.
It does help a little bit, but it's not going to actually bring the 89 octane to the 91. It's bringing it from 89 to like maybe 90.
No, he says gas prices are going up, but these folks out there clapping over this 9% raise they got in New York. He says a $6 fare is now $6.54 with the raise. Now Ricky Knight says we are $2.74 to $2.99. They are there in Texas. Now
Shit,
I
I'm moving to Texas.
now, Ghost, you're out there in Tennessee, Ghost. How are
Yeah.
the gas prices out there in Tennessee in the Memphis area?
All right. I filled up just a little bit ago, and I paid $2.93 from Walmart. Now, there are gas stations out here charging $3.59. And
No, that
those
ain't
are all
nothing.
your I don't want to say the name, but those are all your foreign gas stations that are raping the community. But your Walmarts, your Murphys, stuff like that, you're going to get good gas prices. I saw a 301, I saw a 313, then I saw a 349. But I filled up my tank on 297, and it cost me, I think, $35 to fill my tank up, and it gave me 453 miles on this Audi.
See, even Walmart gas here, which isn't bad gas, mind you, is $4.49 a gallon.
Yeah.
Unless you're a
Well,
Walmart
you
Plus member.
understand
If you're a
what-
Walmart Plus member, it's $4.29 a gallon.
Yeah. Well, you got to think about this. Okay, so you're looking at East Coast versus West Coast versus Mid South, or the central state. Okay, so everything on the East Coast, everything on the West Coast is going to be inflated by 10 to 15 to 20%.
Oh yeah, the cost of living out here is
Then-
higher
then
around
what
out
we-
there versus it is in the central states.
Yeah, than what we see here in the central states. Okay, so you guys are, in California, you're paying $4.50, $5 a gallon, and I'm only paying $2.50 to $3 a gallon. It's
Part of the reason our gas is
it's
actually
our
so
market.
high is our local taxes.
Yeah, like what HotFacts and TFT? What is your percentage of taxes in California in the area that you live? I can tell you, in Olive Branch, we pay about 9.7% tax. In Collierville, Germantown, which I normally get gas at, they're paying
see,
almost
that's
12
sales
to
tax.
13%.
That's different than gas.
Yes. Sales tax, anything that
Yeah, that's
costs
what I'm talking about,
99
sales
cents.
tax.
Well, sales
Yeah,
tax.
sales
anything
tax
that
here
costs
is
99
8 cents on the dollar in my city.
Yeah, 8.25. 8.225 on the dollar is what we got here for sales tax. So
Yeah.
and then CRV is an extra 10 cent.
Oh wait, so I'm sorry, 9 cents on the dollar here.
Yeah, same thing.
Well, if
Because it's
you're paying
$1.10.
9 cents
It's
on the
$1.10
dollar,
for
you're
99
getting
cents
better
now.
sales tax than what Olive Branch has to pay for the sales tax on gas. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the
Well,
sales
see, that's
tax
just it though.
on
Our
gas.
sales tax, our state sales, my local city sales tax actually doesn't affect our gas. The state of California tax on gas is like 18 cents per gallon.
All right, so Mississippi, where I have my license and that's where I abide, in Olive Branch, Mississippi, we only pay, I think, was it 9.25 at the most? And don't quote me on that. I'd have to look at the website of the register and find that out. But I know
no,
if
wait
I
a minute, I'm wrong about that.
cross into Tennessee, I'm going to be paying an extra 2 cents per everything that I buy.
Well, put it like this, Ghost. All right, so in California, I'll just go off a random. I'll just try to put an average of places out there. A 1-bedroom in California, an average can go for like $1,000, right?
Okay.
How much?
Or
can
more,
you
depending.
get for
I'd actually, yeah.
How much how much can you get for $1,000 out there in Memphis for a place to live? $1,000, would that get you 3 bedrooms? Would it get you 2? What would it get you out there?
No, out here in Memphis, if I try to find a 1-bedroom apartment in a decent, okay, if I say a decent, that's gate security, everything, you're paying about $1,050 to $1,250 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. Now you go to
that
the
here.
3-bedroom apartments, you're going to jump up to $1,250 to almost $1,850.
Now you
Yeah,
said
that's almost nothing.
community and everything, right? So now I want to separate. TFT know what I'm about to talk about too. I want to separate gated community from you got a push button to open the gate when you get in there, or a gated community, because we do know in California here you can still go get that whatever, as if they give you a sticker for your car and you hit that button. I'm going off of the average. Just think about where you live, the average, not in. I'm just talking about the average. $1,000 should get you at least 2.5 bedrooms there, right? Go ahead, Ghost. It's on you.
All right. So here in Memphis, okay, yes, you can go get a 2-bedroom apartment in Memphis, Tennessee, surrounding area, okay? It will be a gated community. You have to put a code in to get in, or they give you that card where all you have to do is just press your card up. But it is not in a desirable area. If you want to go to get a 1 or 2-bedroom apartment in a safe community, you're going to be paying $1,700 to $2,500 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
I'm going to jump in here. In my area, Fresno, California, if you want anything just a 1-bedroom apartment anywhere in this city, you're paying a minimum $1,000 to $1,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum. Now, if you want one of the safer, better neighborhoods to live in, with schools nearby, all the conveniences, you're automatically jumping that 1-bedroom to $1,500 to $1,800.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to hire more bedrooms, that's more money. Cheapest 2-bedroom I've been able to find research for a friend. Cheapest 2-bedroom, even in a questionable area, was $1,950. And in a decent area, it was over $2,500.
Hey, Ghost. Ghost, you there? Did you see?
Yeah.
And I know I got Cody in here now. And
what's up, Cody?
I kind of he's in the chat. I don't want to bring it. I don't want to show the video again. But did you see the video that me and TFT was going over earlier with the dude that got shot in the car?
I did not. I got started very late tonight, so I did not see, and I did not get on YouTube or anything. I was helping my mom and dad with some stuff.
All right. Well, right now you are about to watch, and because there's some more people watching right now, and I know some didn't watch it earlier. People, this is very, very graphic. Parental advisory should be here. This
18
is
plus.
This is something that can happen when both sides just don't know what the hell they're doing. And it's a learning lesson. This is educational purposes, people, to teach people what to do in certain situations and what not to do, especially when you are dealing with law enforcement. Go ahead, Ghost.
Well, before you go into that, brother, I got to bounce out. I got to get a nap before I got to take my wife to work. So I'm
all right,
going to let you all go. You guys have a great day. Ghost, I know you're out working, so go make that money, brother.
Yes, sir.
Everybody else?
Before you leave, give your final words. Before you leave, you know you can't escape. Give your final words.
Well, same as always, as they always been. Stay respectful to yourself. Sorry, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Stay true to yourself. Stay respectful to the merchants and the customers. Use your equipment. Don't half-ass anything. Do the job and do it right. Have a good one.
I love it when he say
Exactly.
don't half-ass anything. I love it when he say don't
Hey,
half-ass anything. I love it.
TFT, I'll be out here for another 3 hours. If you need to give me a call, brother.
All right, now Ghost. I know there are some people who are in the chat. Now, you guys do know that Hot Facts with Robert Reese. Even though this is the official gig channel, the official news channel of the gig world, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But we
Like, share, and subscribe.
We make sure we go over things that people need to be learning about. Now, check this out right here. You're gonna watch this. I'm gonna rewind this a little bit. You're gonna watch this segment right here. Check this out. Let me see. Let me hit mute and bring it on up.
Use Miro. When you draw on a whiteboard, no one sees it. With Miro, you plan together in real time from literally everywhere.
It's clear how many shots were fired or whether Allen fired back.
Sarge, step back. Sarge, step back.
Required to.
Sir Chase Allen. Not gonna hand it to me?
If I hand this,
Okay, will you hand that? Can you show that to me again? Different route. You can provide your identification to me. Why your vehicle doesn't have any registration. A couple more head my way. Is this back window?
Hey, Reese, we can't hear any of the video. Just letting you know.
I just want to make sure that you're the only one in the vehicle. So here's the deal, man. I'm stopping you because there's no registration on your vehicle, and I'm requesting your identification. Okay? You are detained at this time, and you are not free to leave. Are you going to provide me your identification?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so I'm going to take that as a no, that you're not going to provide me your identification. Is that the route we're going? Or would you like to provide your identification to me, and we can have a conversation, we can discuss the laws that you're breaking, and then we can go from there.
If you want my identification, you'll be under duress and you accept surety and trusteeship over it. Meaning you won't be responsible for any debts that you're trying to incur here.
Okay, so I'm not trying to incur any debts or anything. I'm trying to investigate why your vehicle doesn't have any registration.
1692, you are trying to incur a debt and legal action for something
Okay.
that's not allowed.
Okay.
And under
So,
18 section 245, traveling is a federally protected activity.
Okay.
in which
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And what I'm telling you is that you do not have an option to identify yourself.
I do.
You are lawfully required to identify yourself. So you can provide your identification to me, and we can have a conversation about the laws that you've broken, or you can fail to identify it to me, and we can go that route too. I'm perfectly okay with either way you want to go, but the direction that this encounter goes is 100% in your hands.
Sir, Utah Code, United States Code,
Okay.
is a corporate policy
Okay.
in which you have to be contracted and to be required to follow it. Unless you
Okay.
can provide me a contract with my wet ink signature on it saying that I'm required to follow it,
Okay.
then there is
So do you
nothing
want
I'm obligated
to
to
identify yourself to me, or do you want to go a different route? Wonderful. Do you have a driver license as well?
I am not giving you jurisdiction.
Okay.
Do not stop. Do not detain. You are not allowed to stop me.
Let me see that.
On your list,
I didn't see what you just tried to show me. Can you show that to me again? What's this?
This is a passport. It says, do not stare, do not detain. And if you go on the first page,
Okay.
it says, the United States hereby requests all who may concern
Okay.
to permit the citizens
Here's what I'm telling you.
United States and interior
Here's what I'm telling you.
without delay or hindrance.
Okay.
You are
Will you hand
required-
that to me so I can read it? You want me to look at it through this tiny crack in your
I'm not
window?
handing it to you.
You're not going to hand it to me?
If I hand this to you, you accept trusteeship and surety, and you're obligated.
Sure, I'll accept trustingship if you just hand me the document so I can identify who you are, because you're required by state law.
I am not
Thank you so much, Mr. Chase Allen.
That is not me. That is a piece of plastic paper.
So you have a fraudulent passport?
No.
Wonderful. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, step out of the car for me.
No.
Sir, step out of the vehicle right now.
I am not required to.
Step out of this vehicle right now.
Then we're going to have an issue where
Step out of the car right now.
Step out of the car. We're going to break the window and pull you out. Step out of the car.
Gun. Ceasefire.
Now, I didn't play the whole thing because later what you will hear, if you go back and watch the video, this just happened. The other officers are saying, did you see a wet weapon? And they're all saying, we don't know. So they all just shot and fired, and all those officers shot and fired in there. He was saying he was a sovereign citizen. He can travel without, having registration and all this other stuff. And when he refused to get out the car, they tried to open the door and they went in. And when he moved, they shot. This was a complete learning experience for both parties, both sides right here. Tell me what you think about that clip, Ghost.
Okay, I understand the sovereign citizen. Okay, I understand that there are people out there that don't think they need to have a license for the state that they are in because they are protected under the United States Constitution. Okay, I understand that, but our government gives states laws that protect, and we have to follow by our states. It does not matter. Okay, you can provide me all the paperwork that I am not a CDL class driver. I am not doing this car or this truck or whatever for business purposes. I understand that, but still, you have to follow your state's constituents according to the federal law. Yes, it can come back to federal law and federal court if you were deemed unnecessary. Now, what I saw in that video, it was a badge power. All they saw was a handle. That's it. They might have seen a gun. Does that give them the right to start shooting and kill that person?
All of them. Once one fired, it was like watching Bonnie and Clyde back in the day when they got shot up in the car at the end. It was like watching that. It was like watching that right there.
But it comes back to the point of this. Just because you're a police officer, just because you're a federal agent, what did you swear to do on the Constitution? Is protect the people. If you are going out there and if somebody has a gun, you need to know how to de-escalate the situation. If you can't de-escalate that situation, then you need to put your gun in the holster and hit him with the taser. Okay? No lethal force was needed.
You know what's crazy that you said the taser? I'm sitting here watching videos all night because I could not believe that they just dumped on that dude like that. I'm watching other videos where dude is walking down the street screaming at the cops, getting in their face, and they let him do it, and they tase him. Another guy was in the car, they tased him in the car. They went and just unloaded on this dude. Now, my question to TFT was, and I'm gonna give this same question for you. And if there is anybody else out there who wants to comment on this video, I'm about to drop the link. And you guys can answer the same exact question here. My question to TFT was this, Ghost. All right. What do you think yourself is going to happen to those officers, and what is going to happen to the officers? What you think first, and then what you know is going to happen after. Go ahead.
Okay, so if it was an unlawful stop, those officers are going to be charged, and there's going to be a DA investigation upon them. Now, if I was the officer, I needed to rectify what was going on at that time and that moment. Was my life in danger? From the video that I saw, my life was not in danger. There was no aggressive movement from that person that was pulled over. They saw a gun, and that is pow, 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 pow. Okay? It's easy to do. You got a badge. You got a gun. You're a police officer. Nobody's going to ask any questions. No. I see this time and time again in Memphis, Tennessee, where they think these police officers are above the law, above the frickin' law. And they're not. Come up there, find out what's going on, find out the situation, find out everything about it before you even put your hand on your gun. If a police officer comes up to me and he automatically puts his hand on my gun, I'm already threatened for my life, even though he didn't pull it. He didn't pull it yet, but his hand is right here on his hip. Okay? Most police officers come up to you, they'll touch the back of your car, and they'll go right here inside their vest, and they'll put both hands right here.
Yeah, like they're holding themselves there. Yeah.
Yep.
Now let me ask you this, Ghost. Now, what do you like? All right. What do you think is going to happen to like all right. We saw what happened. Do you think they're gonna get desk duty? Do you think they're gonna be suspended? What do you think is really gonna happen with the officers in this situation? From what you've seen in the history of your existence in life.
Okay, so I watch a lot of First Amendment videos. I watch a lot of Fifth Amendment videos. And I watch a lot of videos that these cops think that they are God's greatest gift on earth, and coming in, they do not know the law, and they end up getting sued. Okay? I watch a lot of court videos. Now, with that video, I don't know, because I didn't watch the whole entire thing. I would like to watch it from the cop standpoint, and then
that was the cop standpoint. That was their body cam.
Well, yeah, I know that was their axum, okay? But I would like to watch the whole entire what brought that up to where it was at.
No, I showed that. That's what I went to the beginning of. They pulled him over. Okay. He did not have registration of his car. And
I got you on that. I got you on that, Reese.
But when he said, "I'm not getting out the car," they said, "Well," when he said, "Well, great. Your
okay. So I got a question for you."
He said, he said, "All right, we're gonna open up or break your window." They opened up the car door. He went on the inside and said, "Gun, gun, gun," and every single officer started letting off shots.
Yep. Yes. Okay, so the state that he was in, is that in ID state?
He is in let me go ahead and pull this up for you to see.
There are a lot of states out here. If we have not committed a traffic,
he was in Utah.
We have not committed a crime.
He was in Utah.
I'll have to look it up, but if I'm not mistaken, Utah is a no ID state. unless you commit me of a crime and articulate me of committing a crime, I do not have to ID myself to you.
You suspect me of committing a crime. I am in the process of committing a crime, and you really, it's like you said, you have to articulate.
You have to articulate
You
me
have to
of committing a
articulate the
crime.
suspicion and the crime that I am committing in order for me to ID. And that's pretty
Correct.
much every single state in the union that we have. You have to
Yeah.
suspect us of committing a
There-
crime, but you also have to articulate, which is articulable, a suspicion of a crime or be in the act of committing the crime. If you're in Texas, it's 3902. If you're in California, it's 1438.2. Look up where you are in, where you are. But no matter what, people, they have to articulate or catch you in the act. They can't say that, you're just standing here. That's suspicious. There is nothing suspicious with just standing anywhere and doing things like that. They were not in jeopardy of. They had like 9 cops around that dude. They could have tased him, opened the door and tased him. The dude sound like he's a crier and a whiner. They could have pulled him out without any answer, go ahead, Ghost. They could have did all that.
No, like there are a few states out here that you do have to ID when you're pulled over, okay? There
Name
are
them.
a lot of states out here in the United States, and I'm not just saying out here in Mid-South, but there are a lot of states that you do not have to ID. If you have not committed a crime, you have not committed a traffic violation, you weren't speeding, you weren't crossing lanes, and a police officer comes up to you and says, I need your ID. Well, this is not an ID state, sir. Then it's going to get heated with the officer between you and him. And then they're going to call out a sergeant. And then they're going to want to say, well, if you're not going to ID me, it all goes back to policies of these police departments, knowing what they can and cannot do. And I'm tired of these police departments training their police officers and police women to say, well, yeah, get an ID no matter what. No matter what, guess what? No matter what's going to get you into a lawsuit. Mississippi is a no ID state unless there are 2 state police.
Well, no, I'm looking at it actually right now, and I just typed it up. It says right not to answer questions posed by officers during these stops. It says there's no statute there for Mississippi, but let me go back here.
Yeah, but if there's
Stop an ID state.
if there's
Stop.
two if
Go
there's
ahead.
two if there's 2 state patrol on just say a DUI stop, a DUI checkpoint, if there's 2, then you have to show your ID.
Well, and check this out, Ghost. Right here, it says a consensual means that you just give it up. Reasonable suspicion is what we spoke about in arrest. So committing a crime and all that other stuff. It says states would stop and identify laws. Now for giving up an ID, there's a lot of states that there's a lot of states to where they say that if they stop you doing this, you have to, or if they talk to you about this, that's where that consensual comes in.
Can I say this, Reese?
Go ahead.
I've been pulled over 4 times in the last 4 days. And I'm in a rental vehicle. My tags are current. I do not have the new quote unquote blue Tennessee tag for this rental vehicle. all those 4 stops, they didn't ask me for my driver's license. I told them I'm in a rental vehicle. I went to my glove box. I got out the rental agreement, which I'm going to get out right now, and I'm going to show.
Well,
Rental
they say
agreement.
right here on Wikipedia, variations in stop and identify laws. It says in Montana, police may request identifying information. In Ohio, identifying information may be required when requested. An obligation exists only when the police suspect a person is committing, has committed, or is about to commit a criminal offense, is witness to a violent felony offense, or is witness to attempt or conspiracy to commit a violent felony offense. It says in 12 states, Alabama, Delaware, Illinois, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New York, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Utah, and Wisconsin, police may demand identifying information. However, in New Hampshire, for example, RSA 594.2, statutory language authorizing a demand for identity does not establish a legal requirement to provide documentation of identity, or even a requirement to respond in the first place. Further, a law enforcement officer is authorized to make such demand only of individuals for whom he has a reason to suspect or committing or is about to commit a crime. And all of these states, New York and all of them, even though they say that they can stop and get your information, they are vetoed by Terry v. Ohio. They are vetoed by all of these other things here, to where it doesn't matter where you are. They have to go ahead
Supreme
and
Court.
suspect you. Yeah, Supreme Court ruled in on this. So
If I know I committed a crime, if just say if I was speeding 25 miles and over the speed limit and a cop pulls me over, guess what? I got busted. I knew I was doing that, so I'm going to take the charge. I'm going to take the consequence. But don't pull me over in a parking lot, which I was at last night. And I told Rev about this. I told TFT about this. I talked to Jeremy and Angie about this. I was parked at a restaurant, and this cop circled the parking lot twice. And I'm in a rental vehicle, okay, from enterprise.com. I'm not putting you out there, but I'm putting you out there. Those tags that you put on my car, I had to go to Enterprise today and get new tags, because those tags that you put on my car did not come back to my car. And I was pulled over 3 times. 3 times on those tags.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's any plug that I can put out there, if you're a DoorDash driver, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Spark, Roadie, whatever, if you're driving a Enterprise vehicle, just find your local law enforcement and pull over next to them and say, hey, do me a favor. Here's my paperwork and run these tags. Does it come back to this car? If it does not, then you let that police officer know, hey, look, I'm going to go straight to Enterprise and say, hey, what's going on? Give me a different vehicle. The lady I talked to today from Enterprise, when I got my new tags, because Tennessee went through a different tag color.
Now, Ghost, know ain't nobody gonna do that. No. Even though what you're saying is logical. Now, you know
it's very logical, though.
No, it's logical to do. No, it's very logical to do, to ask the officer just to make sure so you don't get pulled over. What I'm just saying is, who in the hell do you know is gonna do that?
Well, I'm going to do it because I don't want to get pulled over again.
Well,
I want to know if I've got a rental vehicle, I want to know, do I have to worry about getting pulled over 4, 5, 6 times a day and have a customer's large order and sit there for 30, 35 minutes for the officer to figure out what's going on? No. I'm going to find out in beginning to say, hey, look, is this legit? Is it not legit? If it's not legit, I'm going back to Enterprise and I'm saying, give me a fucking car that is legit.
So are you saying this is second option? Because now that you're saying that, I think the very first option would be is when you're at that desk to have them go ahead. And even though you do leave that desk, you're saying that secondary, just to double check yourself, you happen to be parked next to a cop at McDonald's, ask him to run the place, is what you're saying.
Yeah, secondary, because how can I trust Enterprise being the fact that I was pulled over 4 times and they all the cops said those plates do not come back to anything. And I took out my key right here. There's a VIN number right here.
Mm-hmm.
I hand it to him and I said, check the VIN number of the vehicle. And then I go over here and I hand him the paperwork and everything checks out. But the tag does not come back to anything. So, yes, I will go on that secondary route.
Yeah, that's
to
crazy.
make sure
right
I am 100% legit.
I got you. Hey, Ghost said cross the T's and dot the I's, people, because you could be out there for hours while they try to run stuff and figure out, and they trying to do
I'll show you right here. I'll show you right here.
All this other stuff.
That's my rental agreement. Here's my tag. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Little white thing on the bottom's got the VIN number of the vehicle. Tag my Enterprise vehicle. They got some questions to do. They got some answers to answer to, because I was pulled over 3 times by Kyrieville Police Department. I was pulled over 1 time by Olive Branch Police Department. They never asked for my ID. Never asked for my driver's license. They said, is this a rental vehicle?
Just trying to run you on stuff, huh?
They said, is this a rental vehicle? Because the tags that I had on it was Greene County, which is almost 250 miles away from here. Tags were still good. Tags were 05 of 2023. And then I went and got new tags today. I got the blue plates for Tennessee, and it says 04 of 2023. So I asked Enterprise, I said, that's next month. Are you going to call me? Because I know I'm going to have this rental vehicle for the next 2.5 months, because the insurance company that is dealing with my claim of that guy that hit me head on in my dad's red truck, they're dragging ass. That happened in December.
Right.
I'm going on almost 4 months before I can even get a verdict on what's going on. I'm 0% at fault, but I'm going to have this rental vehicle probably until January or July or September. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, you go be in there in a good time. And you go be in there for a good little while. Hey, get them deliveries in and use them miles up. That's all I gotta say right there. That's a rental car. Get all you can in.
I've already in the last 2 months I've already put almost 17,000 miles on this vehicle. So
you out there getting it in, Ghost. Well, Ghost,
the only thing I can say on this, I have a job interview for a W-2 coming this Tuesday, and everybody that's watching, say a prayer for me.
Wish you luck.
It's a very good position. It's a take-home company truck, $75K a year, laptop, phone, everything.
Okay.
It's a regional director for a massive lawn care company out here.
Okay, people, make sure you go out there and cross some fingers and give Ghost a little bit of love. Make sure he feels them spirits out there from you guys when he goes in there. He got to go ahead and talk to somebody, people. Make sure he don't got the nerves going in. Now, Ghost, we've been on for 2 hours and 39 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and hit you and give them your final words.
Well, with me saying just that, I'm not going to leave the gig economy. I'll still do it on the weekends and do it in the evenings if I get that job, which I'm about 99.8% that I'll get it. My son works there. But stay true to yourself. Stay true to what you do. Do not back down and try to do anything wrong. Make sure that you're doing everything correct. Make sure you're treating your merchants first, because that's who you pick up from, with respect. Make sure that you give the communications to that customer that you're going to go to. And then make sure on the third, make sure you give that customer, even though if it's a hand to me or a drop off, give him that courtesy. Give him a quick little 5-second text message. 5, 7, 8 words text message. I'm here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for the tip. That goes a long way with people. You don't know who you're dealing with. The person that you might be delivering to might had a shitty day, right? And if you just put a little bit of words of encouragement, that person could have been at the point of putting a trigger to their head and done. But just give them a little bit of words of encouragement, because that goes a long way. Doesn't matter if I get a tip or not. I know that I let them know that I was thankful that they ordered. I'm thankful for delivering it to them. If I don't get a tip, you know what? A tip will come on the next order or the next order after that. I ain't worried about that. But be mindful. If you're the person going through something, if you're the person that's down and out, if you're the person that is contemplating suicide and you lost your loved one, you lost your wife, you lost your significant other, whatever, take that time, give that peace of mind to your customer. You might be going through the same thing, but how else can we show joy? How else can we show happiness if we don't do it ourselves? If you can't show joy and you cannot show happiness to somebody else, then you need to get out of this profession. I'm sorry. But in the words of Ghost 77, thank that person. Because if they didn't order, you wouldn't have had an order.
Oh, that was a good one right there, Ghost.
Thank that restaurant, because
that was a good one.
Thank that restaurant, because if that person wouldn't have ordered, you wouldn't go to that restaurant. So you have to be thankful for every step that you do. It's a 3-step process. You accept the order, you go to the restaurant, you drop off the order. It's a 3-step process. If you can't be thankful 3 times on that, then go get a W-2. Go work at DHL. Go work at Amazon or UPS. I'm sorry. If you don't like what I'm saying, contact me. I got a YouTube, Go77.
Well, people, Ghost gave you, I said, final words, and Ghost broke y'all down with something. And I hope y'all got all that in. Make sure, be kind to people, treat people with respect. And for those of you who don't know, we have a rule, and I have a rule that I do every single day. I'm gonna let you guys know what the rule of Hot Facts is. People, we do this rule when we start our deliveries off, and I normally do the first part of the rule, but I'm gonna give you the whole entirety of the rule. Okay, the first one you get, the first one you take, because that could be the one that could lead to something great.
It's gonna lead to something great.
From the place to the plate, I could ease a little taste. From the hate to the thanks, I can do this all day. But hey, I want to thank you for clicking on me. You've been watching Hot Facts with your boy, Robert Reese. That is how the whole intro to the rule goes. Now, without further ado, people, until the next caper, we out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. And guess what? Ghost, tell these people to listen to my theme music real quick.
Y'all get on here, listen to the theme music, wind down, sit there and just listen and enjoy. It's great music. It's great for your soul. It's great for your mind. Get on it.
Here we go.
Great, baby. Hot Facts with Robert Reese. With Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese. Come and get them hot facts with Robert Reese.